The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Yes, sir. Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful. No. Good morning, beautiful people. It is Feel Good Friday, August 13th, 2021 years after zero. Let's have a day. Woo! Hey. This morning, last week we got a little bit of a taste of it. We had a little bit of a sampler platter. We had a little bit of this. We had a little bit of that. We had a lot of spectacle. The game kind of stunk, but on Friday morning we got to wake up and there was highlights from this year's NFL season happening. Now, it is preseason football, but it was still highlights of football being played around the same time that we had never seen before. And this morning, by the way, we woke up to 2 games last night's highlights, and I'll tell you what, it is a beautiful time to be alive. If you're a New England Patriots fan, let's just dive right into this. Okay? At Boston Connor's here. Ty Schmidt is here. The Hammer Dahn boys will be joining us all 3 hours. Not sure when AJ will join us or if his internet will allow us, but we will talk to him at some point today. Alongside Alan Faneca, joining us in about 10 minutes, and Ian Rappaport will join us for a brand new segment here on this Feel Good Friday with Rap Sheet, who almost got beat up by the Titans head coach just 1 week ago. Yep. If you're a New England Patriots fan, I think you got to be fucking pumped about what you saw last night. In preseason football, you're not going to be able to see a lot. You're not going to be able to learn a lot. But I think there are a couple things that you can keep your eyes open for, and you can say, oh, shit, looks like old buddy right there is potentially going to be something. In this particular case, I'm talking about Mac Jones.
Who?
Mac Jones.
Who?
Mac Jones.
Hell yeah.
This guy, and I put out one simple tweet. All right, after watching the game, and I watched the entire game because on NFL Network here in Indiana, that was the game that was on. The Steelers and Eagles was not on. I guess there was a bunch of streams and everything. People were ripping it around here. They got a chance to watch it. They ran it back after the Patriots game. It was late night, though. So I got to watch the first drive of Jalen, which we will talk about. But watching Cam Newton, then watch... Which, by the way, got sacked. Chase Young's still a monster. Couple good plays. I don't know how long Cam Newton's going to have as the New England Patriots starter if he doesn't have immediate success, which he might, by the way. He might have immediate success this season following last year's season, which was a disappointment for him. Did not have a lot of people around him. Got the vid. It wasn't a great roster, but he did not perform well either. He said it. Can't go out like that was basically what he talked about. He came back for the Patriots. Hopefully he'll have a great start, play well, win an MVP. But if he doesn't, I'll tell you what, there's an entire region, I think, ready for this bad body having son of a bitch out of University of Alabama to be the quarterback. When Mac Jones jogged on the field in a preseason game at home, had to use his hands to cover his helmet because the pop from Foxborough was so loud. I thought Boston Connor was potentially out of touch with the rest of New England with his thoughts and feelings on Mac Jones. I thought that maybe Boston Connor was watching all these videos coming out of training camp of Mac Jones, and he was the only one baloney bopping to Mac Jones out of all the Patriots fans. I thought Patriots fans were a little bit more patient, a little bit more jaded. Like, let's see if this guy's a guy or not. I don't think any of them expected to draft Mac Jones, but then I guess once they got him and started learning about everything they were saying about him and watching the videos of him and hearing the teammates speak about him, Foxborough is excited.
Yeah.
For another potential Bland White that is very good at quarterback. When he came on the field, the place went bananas. If you weren't watching the game live, I don't think you would really truly understand. It was a fascinating thing to see in the middle of a preseason game, especially when a very likable, lovable guy has been named the starter who was just on the field moments before that. Matt comes into a hero's welcome. Now, the internet was saying there's a multitude of reasons for why that particular region was potentially cheering for Mac Jones.
Like what?
I'm just telling you that last night was disgusting on Twitter. And
yeah, it was.
It started with that whole thing. And I don't know, maybe there are a few I don't know the region. I've only been there once. It was gloom and doom. Looked like a fucking scary movie when I was there. Okay, I did have a good time. Everybody was clean shaven, kind of weird to me. It looked like a Gillette commercial every time we walked through. But a lot of people are saying the reason why you guys were excited for Mac is because he was a white quarterback.
Whoa!
I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you what the internet. Some people on the internet, the toxic people are saying on the internet. I do not believe that is the case. I believe that you guys are excited for the future with Mac Jones potentially being a great. And I think after the pop and after the excitement, watching him play made me believe that although 31 different fan bases wanted this dude to stink bad. I mean, they wanted Mac Jones, who had that walk on draft night. You know, Matt Patricia signed off on him.
Yeah.
Matt Patricia didn't really do much great things up there for Detroit.
Zero.
So if Matt Patricia likes him and he has that awkward walk and everything like that, everybody's like, oh, the Patriots stink. They're going to stink forever. You spent $150 million, you don't have a quarterback. That's actually what a lot of people were saying. You don't have a quarterback. You don't have a quarterback. You draft Mac Jones. Then you start learning about Mac Jones. You watch Mac Jones. Photographic memory, they say. Smartest guy, quick guy, throws the ball onto a pin if he has to. Missed a couple throws last night, to be exact.
One throw. He missed one throw.
The one in the end zone would have got broken up anyways. Didn't matter where he threw it. That was perfect defense. The ball that he overthrew on Gunner, though, that thing's probably a tutter. That's a half a yard out of reach there. So that was a miss by him. But I think, first preseason game, potentially a little bit amped up. But if you watched him, and you were one of the other 31 teams that said, you know what, the Patriots are fucking dead. I hate massholes. We don't have to hear from them again. This guy's going to stink. You watched last night. It was this guy's not going to stink.
Nope.
I don't think all I said is I don't want to overreact, right? We're not big overreactors.
No, not at all.
Never. No. Can't do it. Won't do it.
That would be irresponsible.
Can't win with it. Won't. I don't want to overreact, but I think 31 different teams, fans were hoping Mac Jones would stink. I hate to say this, but it sure seems like he will not. And a lot of people started attacking me on the internet for saying this. I got attacked for saying this. I mean, they were showing up in abundance. Old TJ says here, by your logic, Joe Flacco is a potential MVP candidate because Joe Flacco threw a screen for 79 yards for a touchdown last night for the Philadelphia Eagles. By the way, Joe Flacco was once an MVP candidate back in the day when he got paid $100 million after winning the goddamn Super Bowl. I don't see how those two tie together when I say Mac Jones doesn't seem like he's going to stink. Oh, by your logic, says Teach. Teach was not the only one, by the way. Mark Smith, don't fall for the preseason hype, man. Then he screenshots two of Freezing Cold Takes' posts about Ryan Mallett being the guy back in 2011 when he debuted in preseason, saying, isn't this pretty similar? Quarterback, Patriots, 10 years ago, everybody's loving him. Don't buy into the preseason hype, says Mark Smith. And I appreciate Mark for following along, but listen, Ryan Mallett, who I have drank beers with, golfed with, had a good time with, sang with, enjoyed Arkansas with, saw the biggest son of a bitch I've ever seen in my entire life in public with. I mean, I love Ryan Mallett.
Of course.
I do. I enjoy Ryan Mallett as a human. I liked him everywhere he went in, especially when I heard what he was potentially doing off the field in college. I was like, all right, this dude's a guy. I feel like I'd be friends with this guy. Thought he was incredibly talented, but I don't think it is fair to just say, because I said that Mac Jones wasn't going to stink, to say, oh, this is Ryan Mallett. Ryan Mallett was unbelievably talented, okay? Everybody knows that. Love Ryan Mallett. This is not a shot at Ryan Mallett. Mac Jones is like the most accurate passer in the history of college football, national champion, Heisman finalist, had one of the greatest year, or one of the top two greatest year in the history of college football. And it's not the arm mechanics that we were watching and judging last night. A lot of people were telling me, oh, you're watching against 2s and 3s. It's like, what I was watching was a guy that was looking at the defense, okay, breaking down simple defenses, okay, first preseason game. But I'm just talking about as a rookie, the composure that he had, breaking down things. I guess he had the highest Pro Football Focus football grade, which at this point, we don't know what's going on over there at Pro Football Focus. We love Pro Football Focus. Okay, they named me punter of the decade, and they watch every single film. And I think for punters, it's a lot easier to see if it was a successful rep or a non-successful rep. But there's a lot of other question marks at positions that I think people have called PFF into question. But they're Pro Football Focus. They watch every play. They grade every single one. They're dialing in. They got former scouts. Collinsworth running the thing. And he said some questionable shit, though. I mean, there's been some questionable shit coming out from that account. But Mac Jones had the highest Pro Football Focus quarterback grade. Also, I think the longest attempt per pass. So a lot of people were tweeting me, telling me, "Oh, dinks and dunks, throw me a check down with 2 guys 5 yards away, and you're Mac Jones." It's like, actually, I think he had the highest average attempt last night. He won 13 of 19, I think. Had that one drop, one miss. That's 15 of 19 for over 100 and some yards. They said, "Oh, he couldn't even score a touchdown, only kicked field goals." Quinn Norton, hell of a night, by the way.
Here we go.
Quinn Norton, live leg.
Yeah.
Hey,
big boot.
Live leg. It has always been that way, too, ever since he was in high school. So much so that Harbaugh went and slept at his house, climbed a tree with him, just like a whole thing to recruit a kicker. And it was a big deal because people were like, look what Harbaugh's doing to get this kicker. It was like, well, this particular guy, Norton, was bombing balls for a long time. Super swagged out, too. I was a big fan of everything. When he got to Michigan, I think he kind of hit some different swings and got into a couple different funks, much like every kicker does, potentially. Not every. Most kickers do at one point in their career in college. But everybody has said about Quinn Norton and Belichick, I assume once hearing that this guy was looking for jobs at LinkedIn or something like that because nobody would sign him after coming from Michigan. He was once the top recruit in high school. Bill Belichick goes, "Hey, folks hurt, right? You guys always seems to be hurt," but he comes back in. Well, that guy's been kicking 70-yard field goals since he was, 17 years old? Oh, fuck it. Let's see if he can figure it out.
Yeah, bring him in.
The guy was thinking about going and selling insurance. He might be at a different point. He was crushing the ball. Missed an extra point, which I don't know how the operation was, but he was absolutely slaughtering the ball. It's great to see whenever... So this would be like, when Tiger Woods is back and his driver is dialed in?
Sure.
And then, and he just gets up there and it's just going exactly where he wants. When you have a kicker, like Tucker has been doing this for so long, it's why it is absolutely stupid what he's been able to. When you have somebody that slaughters balls and they're just hitting it so pure and you see the ball spinning slowly. Fast spin means they undercut it. Might have done it on purpose to cut through some wind, but you're not going to get as much distance. He hit that 50-yarder, and it was end over end, slow rotation, like the most beautiful. I mean, like, I would assume it's how Judge felt or how Alexander felt or whatever. As soon as they hit that, it feels like it's gone. Like, when you see that ball just spinning perfectly end over end, it's like, wow, you fucking slaughtered that football. I think it went over the net from 50. I hope he continues to do that, miss the extra point. How will he bounce back? That's the question. But a lot of people are burying Mac Jones for that, not scoring a touchdown. And whenever I said I didn't think he was going to stink, it's because everything else he was doing, the composure, the poise, the arm strength was there. He was breaking down the defense, simple defense. He ran a 2-minute drill, hurry up drill, went 8 of 9, I think, or something like that. Was very hot. If you're a Patriots fan, you see that. Now, I don't think you have enough weapons still. Like Jonnu and Hunter Henry, awesome. James White's been catching fucking screens for 50 years for the Patriots. He's still faster somehow. I think you need another guy. I'm not 100% sure. You might fall into the same thing that we got going on here at the Colts if T.Y. can't eat and Pittman doesn't. But, man, you got to be pumped about what you saw out of Mac. The internet hates it, which is good news for Patriots fans.
Yeah, I expected a lot of hate if he did well, so, that is good news. But like you said, the biggest thing for Mac Jones was the pre-snap reads, him checking the offensive line, changing who the mic was. And that's what happened with Cam that he couldn't do that you've been hearing throughout practice is that, Cam will come up, he'll identify who the mic is, and then he'll snap the ball. Mac will come up, he'll identify who the mic is, he'll give a fake and then see what they're doing, and then he'll change the play. And we will, probably fall to the fact that we don't have enough weapons because the Chiefs are still the standard, and we're definitely not near the Chiefs yet. But with the defense and the special teams and just the promise that you see from Mac, you got to hope he's there week 1.
Listen, I love you guys got Goose, too.
Oh, yeah. Hank Anderson's an absolute weapon. Are you kidding me? Playing in the third quarter.
Yeah, the preseason. I don't know if that's good and how. I mean, Goose definitely was giving his maximum effort.
Yeah.
It appeared as if he was not telling Bill Belichick to go fuck himself in the third quarter whenever he was still playing or whatever. He's a vet at this point. He seems to be all the way dialed in. We're calling his ass Baby JJ.
Whoa.
When he was with the Indianapolis Colts his first couple of years out of Stanford. Baby JJ. He was absolute hellraiser on the D-line. He and David Perry came out of Stanford at the same time to the Colts. Hank was unfucking believable.
Yeah.
Incredibly cool guy. Nicknamed Goose. I mean, he is an absolute stud athlete. Had an injury, kind of changed things, went to the Jets. What happens when you go to the Jets? I mean, he kind of...
Careers die.
Yeah, who knows what happens.
Absolutely tabletop Steve Hashka.
Yeah. He did. He did. Came on the show.
Yeah.
Defended himself.
Thank you, Goose.
Yeah, thank you, Goose, for that. Got me into a war with Hauschka's wife.
Right.
Actually, because I sided with Goose because, hey, if you're a kicker and you're running towards where a tackle is going to be, there's a chance you're going to get got
That's
over
football.
there. Like, all right, just go down the fetal position. You see his quarterbacks do it. If you don't want to get hit, you just lay your ass down or go the opposite direction. If you go towards the ball, towards where everything's happening, even if it's a block kick or whatever it is, there's a chance you're going to get killed in
That's
there.
live fire.
Kevin Huber lost his entire jaw
Yeah.
because he was in an area, a no man's land type area. Huber had to drink from a straw literally for 6 months. His back with the Bengals said, shouldn't have been there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what his thought was. Hauschka got hurt in that particular. He played the next week, so he wasn't injured, but he did get hurt. So I immediately sided with Hauschka. Then I saw it was Goose who did it, and I text him, you fucking asshole. And he goes, can I plead my case, please? And I was like, absolutely. Right. So he comes on, he says, what if Hauschka blocks me there, or what if something happens and I don't do it? Now, could I have hit him a little less hard? Yes.
Perhaps.
Sure.
But then he said, what type of football player am I, though? If I'm That'd be rude to Hauschka if I was like, basically this entire thing. Goose and I got along rather well whenever we were at the Indianapolis Colts. Very happy to see him with the New England Patriots, and he will be a weapon for you. He'll be a guy, just like Ninkovich, who will somehow come out of nowhere, have an incredibly productive season, and everybody goes, of course, Bill was able to get the best out of this guy whenever all the signs had been there that he was going to be great. With that being said, though, how do we feel about the other team? How do we
About the football team?
Yeah, how do we feel about Fitzmagic?
Yeah.
Hey, I got them in my 7-leg parlay to win the NFC East.
I think so.
Lock that in.
Okay, with the videos that are coming out of Giants practice.
Oh, Jesus.
What?
Yikes.
Disgusting.
That reaction.
Wasn't even football.
Like, that was a little bit negative there about.
Sure, that was not the little
Yeah,
fucking
'cause-
Giants.
Sure.
All right, listen. All right, the Giants, Daniel Jones in his third year did appear to throw the ball directly to a linebacker sitting at 13 yards down the field with no wide receiver around him. And this came immediately after a MA blown assignment, no block on a blitz. And now, the offensive line maybe hasn't covered that, who passes off, who shifts. Now, that's the first team offensive line, so you would hope that they would have that figured out. That could potentially happen in training camp, though. That is what training camp is for. You're training there. Daniel Jones looking and staring down. I mean, a teammate of his, so probably a friend of his, but in this particular drill, playing for the other team, and throwing the ball right to him. Now, JGL059 and CBS Sports really hyped this thing up with the captions and the everything
Pauses.
around there. It's practice, right? You're supposed to get better, but with what we're hearing out of Giants camp, with the laps, the push-ups, the sprints, the fights, the retirements, then you got this happening, the blown assignments, the throwing to the linebacker. I've seen Joe Judge punt a ball. I've seen him do an onside kick. I thought the Giants were potentially going to be a team this year. I thought they were going to go on a go. What we're seeing as of now, which could change completely, I don't think they're going to be a team.
No.
Down in Dallas watching, not this year. Maybe next year, who knows how that whole thing will work out. I don't think they're going to be a team. I might be wrong. I don't know. Then you go Dallas. I'm not 100% certain how.
Who knows?
What's going on here?
Well, yeah.
What's going on here?
Exactly.
They got MRI this weekend to clear things up. But Dak is throwing. In my eyes, I think Dallas has a chance, obviously. The Eagles, after watching last night, I think Jalen is good. I think he's very good. He missed the ball, but he also completed a couple absolute dimes. I think Jalen's going to be good. I don't know how that team is, though. Yeah, I don't know how.
Kobayashi, dude.
They're going to stink.
What do you mean?
Let me give
Why do you hate this Sirianni guy so much? Is there something that happened?
I don't hate Sirianni.
Oh,
Sounds
the
like
way
it.
you have painted Sirianni has been in a way.
Listen, I'm not saying anything he hasn't said himself.
Okay, all right.
I
you're right.
mean, I don't know. Jalen is good, but I feel like he's just getting.
Everybody's good in the NFL, though. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, I mean, I don't know. You just look at last year. Like, I think we were talking about a big part of, like, some of these younger guys, like you said, when they don't have tape on them, they come in and he can obviously scramble, and teams, like, don't really know how to, like, I don't know. Do you think that year two, when teams have tape on him and they know what to expect from him, like that makes a massive difference, doesn't it?
I think
Especially
it
when your
does.
team around you stinks as well.
I think it does. Now, granted, this is the first year in Sirianni's offense, and it's the first year where he's going to be the guy, or is he, by the way? I don't know if they're keeping that.
Flacco.
Flacco's on fire.
Look out.
Yeah, Flacco did drop an absolute dime, okay, and Flacco is always going to play.
Yeah.
Footsteps.
Footsteps Flacco.
Footsteps
Exactly.
Flacco is always going to show
Yeah.
up whenever he has to. But watching that Washington football team there early, Fitzmagic looks happy.
Yeah.
And when Fitzmagic is happy, I think every time he's been happy to place, they have won. That Fitzpatrick will wear his heart on his sleeve. So whenever it gets ugly, whenever he's riding a good one, whenever they're winning and going, he's doing it. And right now it feels like he enjoys the team that they have. He's incredibly smart. Everybody knows that. That team, though, with Heineke, almost beat the fucking Bucks. That team was very young. The culture was still young. They don't even have a name yet. They were battling 3 exposés came out in the first training camp, and they were still able. That team, I think, is a problem in the NFC East. I think that team is going to win the NFC East.
They have by far the best defense and best defensive line in that division, and it's not even close. And then they added weapons on offense. When I Tone's Futures Fortunes months ago, Washington football team.
And they were probably at much better odds than they are now, if I had to guess, months ago.
Yeah, it was +4, +2. I could look it up, but yeah, probably. I assume so.
I like that. I like watching football in the preseason because in the first half, couple plays.
Yeah.
See, yeah, of course.
But I like watching because it's like everybody tweeted me automatically because of how he performed physically. And it was like, that was the last thing I'm looking at. I think.
Yeah.
That is the last thing I'm looking at because physically, I just assume the person's there if everything else about them is like if the confidence is there, if they seem to have poise, understand what they're doing. Let's assume the arm talent is there for Mac. Let's just assume it's there. It was everything he was doing in his first ever appearance in the NFL that I was super pumped for. Is like not as somebody that wants to ever see the Patriots be successful again, which I don't. But
yeah.
I'm happy for Mac Jones to be able to get in there and sling it because that guy was supposed to be number 3 overall for a long time.
Yeah.
That guy, he threw the ball to the Heisman winner.
Yeah.
So the Heisman winner, wide receiver, and this is kind of the conversation about does the quarterback deserve it every single time? And it's like the Heisman award potentially could become a quarterback award, basically.
MVP.
But Devontae, I mean, without,
Exactly. Chicken or the egg.
Yeah, without Mac throwing the ball there, and he was a Heisman finalist, I guess. So might as well just say, okay, Heisman-like quarterback basically in college. He was supposed to be number 3 overall. He falls to the Patriots, of course, and that's what I got out of it. And Josh McDaniels is coaching that son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I think we have a phone call. No.
Oh, he's running behind. He's in the bathroom right now.
Oh, I don't have this in. You probably already told me.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
McDaniels and him do have a great relationship, though, which is good to see. But to the point,
No,
about
I don't think they do, by the way. I think
him and Mac.
No, I think they have a good relationship, but I think this is very much like a Bear Bryant, I think he is, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Coaching him up.
That's been the big thing, right? I think there's a little bit of fear out of Mac for Josh McDaniels still at this point.
They've had a few dinners at McDaniel's house. They have a good relationship, but I think Mac likes to get kind of screamed at, yelled at, because I think Cam mentioned it after the game. He was like, I try and make him laugh, but he doesn't really laugh because he wants everything to be so perfect, and when it's not, he gets so mad.
Mac?
Yeah, Mac Jones, and that's why he's kind of locked in, dialed in like Gable Steveson 24/7.
Hey, I don't know. I've seen him chuckle in a lot of interviews, but and have a good time. But I like that he's a potential perfectionist, photographic memory, incredible. I mean, he is. It makes no sense that he ended up at the Patriots. And of course, if he has this great career 10 years from now, everybody be like, I can already hear the deep voice on NFL film saying, Bill Belichick waited patiently.
Yeah.
Instead of trading up in the draft for his guy to fall to him. Matt Patricia had to give the okay.
Yes, let's not forget Matt Patricia played a massive role here. But with the football team, I think you're foolish not to bet on Chase Young to win Defensive Player of the Year. Me and Gumpy were talking about it when we were walking in, and that was basically the first thing Tony said to us, too. Chase Young is unbelievable. Holy
Remember
shit.
last year in was it playoffs or week 17? He literally a sack happened, ball came out.
Niners.
And he ran, without breaking stride. One hand picks up a ball and then somehow still remains just in a full sprint. It was
Unbelievable.
fucking unbelievable. And it's like, oh, this guy. Oh, that's a different human there. Oh, that human isn't like the rest of us humans.
Tomlin said it.
Yeah, he said Chase Young after the game last night, he said, yeah, the game really feels like it's slowed down.
Yeah, and Tomlin, and what you were referring to, and it will, by the way, continue to do so. Wait until he starts getting a read on when he's going to get chipped and when this is going to happen in some games that they'll potentially play. I mean, he's a weapon. But yeah, Tomlin mic'd up moment when he looked at Chase. I never going to lose enough games to get you somebody that looks like you.
Yeah.
What a line by Tomlin. You know what I'm saying? That's what Tomlin even followed up to Chase. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we ain't going to stink enough to be able to get a guy. What a line by Tomlin. Absolutely loved it. Staying with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Although I thought the Steelers were going to lose last night to the Eagles, and I bet pretty heavily on that, strictly because I didn't know how long Jalen was going to play. We have an absolute Steelers icon joining us.
Whoa.
A man that just went into the Hall of Fame this past weekend, had an incredible speech. Also, wild body transformation. Gets asked about that a lot, I assume, so I don't want to hammer away, but he looks fucking great, and he sounded presidential. Ladies and gentlemen, Hall of Fame offensive lineman from the Pittsburgh Steelers, Alan Finn. Yeah! What's up, man?
What's going on, guys?
Hey, how's that? I mean, how many times have you been interviewed thus far where you've been interested or introduced as, hey, Hall of Famer, Alan Faneca? That has to feel pretty sweet at this point, huh?
Hey, you can say it all day long.
So we're talking to Hall of Famer Alan Faneca. Okay. Your speech, though, let's talk about that, and then we'll dive into the football and life and everything. You sounded incredibly presidential. Your delivery was unbelievable. You projected your voice. I was impressed by your style of speaking, but then your actual speech, whenever you go back to, I think, 15 years old or 14 years old, and whenever you're trying to write a speech like that for the Hall of Fame, there has to be a lot of reflection going on, huh? And at what point did you fall on like, hey, this year, 15th year of my life was a pivotal moment in everything? Because I don't think that gets talked about. The process of putting those words together is probably a pretty emotional one. Am I wrong in reading that or no?
Oh, definitely. I mean, you think about things you never thought about before. You think about you never really think about how you got here. At least I never did. What got me to here? What kind of guy am I? I never really realized that I was a very goal-oriented person until I started going through this process of trying to make my speech and trying to formulate it and put it all together. That I was setting goals my whole life. I never thought one thing about it. But definitely, there's like a whole notebook worth of notes that didn't make the speech. That you start thinking about through this process.
Did you miss anything? Do you feel like afterwards anybody said to you, how did you not say blah, blah, blah? Have you gotten any of that, or has everybody said the same thing as me, like, hey, incredible speech?
No, nobody's ever said that. I think everybody's finally realized that I only had 8 minutes and that the time was short.
How about that? Peyton Manning literally roasted some of the Hall of Famers of the past. Like, was that something that was really hammered home? Because I thought that was always a rule. And then this year, was it because you guys were like, you know what, we'll set the standard here from here on out. We can't abuse this thing. Or was that something from the Hall of Fame? Because in past, guys would go 30, 40 minutes. Mm-hmm. It's a snooze fest by the end of it. But hey, appreciate everything you've done. Did they tell you, or did you guys kind of make that decision by yourself?
No, it was definitely a mandate that we were going to be cut. They told us how it was going to go down, the lights, the flashing lights, the elevator music was going to come on like at the the Golden Globes or whatever, and run us off the stage. And they hammered that down all the way through. And Peyton wound up making all the jokes about it, and I was trying to lead a revolt to try and get us like an extra 2 or 3 minutes out of it, and he shot me down. I was like, man, he was the one guy in the group I needed to help drive it home, and he failed me.
Well, I'm sorry you two couldn't get on the same page for that, but as a watcher, I feel like 6 minutes, 8 minutes, there has to be like a 10-minute, there has to be a happy medium there, because I think we all agree as fans of football and a celebration of the sport, which is what Hall of Fame weekend is and the greatest league of all time. Some of those, Alan, are. Come on. And abuse leads to restrictions, which is why you guys had it happen. Hopefully they'll be able to figure it out. I thought you nailed it in your time constraints. How was the weekend? A lot of Steelers are back there, huh? It felt like a family reunion, I assume?
Pittsburgh West. That's what I kept saying all weekend long. Everybody just moved from Pittsburgh over for the weekend. It was great. It was great. I've said it a couple times to family and friends. The words. If I could write and craft the most poignant paragraph ever written about the week, and what it meant to my family and myself, it wouldn't do it any justice. It was just simply amazing. The pinnacle of my career, sharing it with my friends and family, being able to thank everybody that came along the journey, that came up to celebrate with us. It just simply, there's no words to define it.
Congrats, man. Yeah. Hey, because you hear about a lot of things. You know, I got invited to my first Pro Bowl, and it wasn't in Hawaii. It was in Arizona. We had to drive an hour and a half into desert to practice. The hotel wasn't even just NFL folks. It was a bunch of conferences happening. And I remember thinking to myself, like, oh, I was dreaming of making a Pro Bowl. This fucking stinks. It's cool to get the title, and it'll be on the resume. I'll wear the jersey. It's very nice. But it wasn't what, like, I had always thought it was going to be. I feel like every Hall of Famer and everybody that's ever gone to Hall of Fame weekend has come out the other side of it and been like, it exceeded all of my expectations. Is this Pittsburgh, West Canton, just like the greatest city on earth for a weekend because of everybody that's there and everything that's happening?
I mean, definitely. It's definitely just a flat out amazing. You mentioned the Pro Bowl. And I thought about it. So my very first Pro Bowl, I'm out in Hawaii, and there's that initial meeting where they kind of give you the ground rules for the whole weekend, right? And my very first one, I'm in there and I'm looking around and I'm like, I got Jerry Rice like 2 chairs over from me, and I'm like, shit, man, I'm in this room. And so we have there's the Ray Niskey luncheon, which is just Hall of Famers. They close the doors, nobody's in there, just us. And I had the same moment times 1,000. But I'm like, shit, I'm in this room, man. This is like, I'm here. I'm a part of this. It was very surreal.
A lot of shit getting talked in there about a lot of stuff in that Hall of Fame only, yeah?
There is some things flying. You're
talking about the league, the current league, the state of the Hall of Fame. What are those conversations? Business conversations? Or is it just, hey, let's enjoy each other's company. We never get a chance to do this?
It's a little bit of everything, man. It's about the guys we lost in the past. It's about introducing the new guys. I got a little bit of advice going in there because sometimes the meetings can get a little carried away a little bit. I was told, best advice is to kind of keep your head down and mouth shut.
I did a round, what was it? It was a circle, round, what was it?
Round table.
Round table. I was invited to a round table thing because I was announcing the Colts draft pick in Nashville. And Roger Goodell was in there. And then I think there was a few Hall of Famers in there, a bunch of players. And they literally had everybody sitting in like a circle. It was very interesting. And there was no media or anything like that. And I just sat. I didn't get that advice from everybody, but I quickly read the room. I was like, all right, I am not saying a thing in here. They were just teeing off, right, all the old guys. And it was a cool moment to kind of take a trip back in time with what the sport used to be. You get to hear some stories, some gripes, what can get better. I mean, those moments, I couldn't even fathom. You deserve every single one of those going forward for everything that you did in the sport of football and in the NFL in Pittsburgh. And I said I wasn't going to talk about it whenever I introduced you, but you got a picture of yourself with a gut hanging over your belt, right over your shoulder, and then we all see you just look incredible. I've asked you, I think, about this before, and a lot of people have, so I apologize maybe for the redundancy of this, though, did you have to eat, like force yourself to eat to be an offensive lineman? Like, is your body supposed to be small, and you were just like forcing yourself to eat, or is that you just full lifestyle change?
Full change. I've never been this size in my life. I was that kid in elementary school that was like searching around with mom looking for the husky pants that would fit my butt.
Yeah.
So as you get older, you start learning. Chicken over burgers and veggies over French fries and all that stuff. So as I got older, the better I ate, the more I had to eat. To keep the weight up, so I was, eating all the protein shakes between meals and stuff to maintain that weight. But I've always been the big boy and just said, when I'm done, I'm going to give it a go and see if I can lose some weight and see if it sticks.
Alan, we were talking, you've done great. It sticks, by the way. It sticks. I battle with my weight a lot. I've began intermittent fasting. And it seems like I'm going to be able to do this one because, you can be a fat ass for a couple hours a day and then you're done.
Cut it off.
Yeah, it's been pretty nice. Did you get a chance to talk to any of the guys about the evolution of football and the athletes and everything. Before we had you on, we were talking about Chase Young, but not just Chase Young. You look across the board on defensive lines at this point with the way science and nutrition and workouts and everything you guys had to go through so people could perfect the science of technique and everything like that at this point. The game, it feels like, is at the best place of all time, maybe? Is that the conversation? Like, hey, how much better can these guys get? Do you look at that? Do you think about that at all? Or is that just something that is going to naturally happen, you think?
Well, like you said, it's the evolution of science, of athletes, years of training, and all of a sudden, the cream of the crop rises, and the cream is a little bit higher than it used to be. My rookie year, I come into the Pittsburgh Steelers organization. I'm 322 pounds. I'm the biggest offensive lineman, heaviest offensive lineman on the team. My last year in Arizona, I was 320. I was the smallest guy.
It's crazy, isn't it? I mean, you've got 340 pounders flying around running like 4.9s, 4.8s at this point. It is insane. The game changes, the rules. You a fan of that? Not a fan of that? Because down there in the trenches, I mean, now there's no cutting in between the tight end box, I believe, not just the tackle box, but the rules with hands to the face and you guys getting slapped by defensive linemen. How do you feel about all that? As now you're a Hall of Famer, so you are literally one of the faces of the league going forward forever, and I don't know if that's a pressure that you're excited about or not, but how do you feel about the game, the rules changes in the state of the way the game's being played in the NFL now?
Yeah, I think some are needed. I think, when you start thinking about the safety of the game, and then I think some are, maybe taking it a little bit far. And I think that's just a fine line that's really hard for the NFL to figure out where to stop. And maybe there's not enough guys like myself and former players around that circle that are making those decisions, having enough input in the game to help manipulate where those things are going.
Have you said that to Commish? Like, hey, you guys are making a lot of decisions that are stupid. Need a couple players around?
I know. No, maybe I need to.
Oh, now you're a Hall of Famer. There we go. Right? You can say whatever now, Alan. I think with that gold jacket, you just show up at any stadium, any practice facility, any meeting, and you're just like, what's going on? What are we doing? I think you're allowed to do that now. I think it's like a gold pass, right?
Sure it is. Yeah, let's do it.
How was the party?
Party was magnificent. It was awesome.
Did you have music?
Yeah. We had a DJ. We went with the DJ. It was a little hard to go picking a band, but party ended about 5:30 in the morning.
Jeez.
I did not know you olds are doing it like that. 5:30 a.m. over there. Is that the standard for those Hall of Fame parties too?
For a lot of them, yeah. For a lot of them.
God, I'm happy that our legends, our Hall of Famers, by the way, are partying until 5:30 in the morning when they're going. That's good for the sport. That's good for the game.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tone Diggs.
Mr. Faneca, from Steelers Nation, I just want to thank you for everything you did, especially when you pulled in that key block for Willie Parker in the Super Bowl. Thank you very much. With that being said, we ask a lot of offensive linemen if they what type of quarterback they like to block for. I want to what type of running back did you like? Because you had Jerome who would just run up your ass. You had famous Amos there where he bounced around a little bit more. As an offensive lineman, what type of running back do you like to block for the most?
I think I love blocking for Jerome, man. One thing I knew where he was going. I kind of had a good vibe of which hole he was going to hit. But when you're running back and hit somebody with so much force and just take the pile and just obliterate somebody, that's exciting, man. When he would just run the pile down and pop up and start dancing around and doing his little shimmies and shakes. That was awesome. He was just like another lineman in the back getting the ball, though.
So I see the LSU helmet as well. Are we ever going to get back? It feels like we were just right there on the top of the mountain, and then all of a sudden everything started. Everything started crumbling down around there. Is everything going to be all right down there at LSU?
No, everything's going to be fine. I think a little transition period afterwards. I think when you have that great of a year that we had, it's hard to repeat that awesomeness all the time. So a little bit down, but I think they're coming back.
I hope so, man. Coach O, what a legend. Joey Burrow, by the way, is back.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people were wondering earlier in training camp if Joey Burrow was going to be able to get over that knee injury. He's all the way back.
Yep.
That's what everybody's saying. They still don't have an indoor practice facility over there in Cincinnati, though, Faneca.
That's hard to believe, but I do believe it.
Very profound. That was very profound and deep. Want to talk about the Steps Towards Zero campaign before we get out of here. You mentioned it in your speech about epilepsy being a massive part of your life. Can you tell us a little bit about the Steps Towards Zero campaign? And thank you for doing this, by the way. Giving back to the world is an incredible thing.
Thank you. The Steps Towards Zero campaign is trying to reinvigorate and re-engage the epilepsy community, to get them engaged with their healthcare providers, to try and find a new norm, not to accept where they are as just their station in life, that things can get better. So if you go to stepstowardszero.com, you'll find a lot of information, a lot of guidance on how to re-engage your healthcare providers, to find new ways, not to accept where you are. And not everybody's going to be able to get to 0 seizures, but maybe going from 10 to 7 or 5 to 2, whatever it is, that's better than where you are now. And that's something I can get behind, and I've just been really excited about being a part of this.
Yeah, that's amazing. And by the way, you becoming a face for that community is huge, because I think a lot of us who maybe don't have a direct relative or friend that is epileptic, I don't think we fully understand it. I know, like, lights, I feel like I have a very ignorant view on the entire thing. What is it? It's just is it a brain thing that causes your body to go seizures? I don't think I know a lot about epilepsy, and I might be in the minority here, but I don't think I know that much about it at all, actually.
So it's a little bit like lightning going off in your brain. It's going to causes you to have your seizures, and there's different triggers for different people. For me, I'm fortunate enough if it's a medication thing. So if I forget my medication, is when I will have one. And for me, I don't hit the floor or convulse, but I would take off running. I'm late for something. I've gone to my high school in my pajamas one time. I lived about a mile from the school, and I just went to high school in my pajamas. It's different for everybody, but it's basically like lightning going off in your brain, and it's triggering your seizure.
Well, let's hope that we can make worlds and lives much better without running to your high school in pajamas or whatever else could potentially happen to everybody. Thanks for giving back to the world. Congrats on being a Hall of Famer, and thanks for your time, Mr. Faneca.
Appreciate it, guys. Always enjoy being on the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hall of Famer Alan Faneca. I don't think I know anything about seizures or about epilepsy. That's what I was realizing.
All I know is you can't watch Pokemon.
Yeah, because the flashing lights,
That's
right?
probably all I knew about it. Is just that, you'll see video games or movies that have the disclosure at the start, like people with epilepsy might experience issues with this.
All right, let's get to a break. Me too. That's what I was referring to.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy, though.
Yeah, seizure is just, his brain makes him just panic on that?
Yeah, basically.
I'm happy he's, being like, your life doesn't have to be like it is. We can take care of this. That's awesome. If you're epileptic out there, stepstowardszero.com. We're back in 4 minutes. All right, we got Ian Rappaport with the Rap Sheet Wrap-Up and Friends.
Boom. Let's go.
Segment. Yeah, where he'll wrap up and tie some loose ends on the week in the NFL storylines as we go into a beautiful weekend.
And Friends, is Siciliano coming on?
No.
Dude.
Did you see?
They need to stop what they're doing.
Hey,
Hey, NFL Network. We see what you're doing to Siciliano, and we don't like it.
We know what you're up to.
We
know what you're up to.
I'll say this about him. He also runs an excellent ship on the Red Zone for NFL Network.
He's
No one
great.
talks about him. And talk about that other fucking guy.
Yeah, he got re-upped. Great.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Siciliano. Huh?
Scott Hansen?
Yeah.
I don't watch Red Zone Channel.
I know you don't.
It's founded by terrorists.
That's right.
Put more punts on there.
Siciliano?
But Siciliano runs a good show.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, but I'm just talking about shows.
Tight ship.
He's a good host.
He is.
Very.
Knock it off.
Get him a
NFL
goddamn
Network.
chair.
Get him
all
a
right?
desk.
Yeah.
Get the guy a desk, dude.
Maybe a coat. Nice coat.
Dump.
It's hot out there.
You're making it worse.
Hey, keep
We're back in
MJD.
4 minutes. Cheers. All right, so it's outclassed. Start match. Little humidity, bigger ring. Let's fucking go, huh? Almost lost the whole thing. Shoot him, Dahn. Nope. Now you go sleep. 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 Woo! I'm really tired. These things keep freezing. Grow up. Woo! So you can't breathe out of your nose. It's just a lot of mouth breathing. I apologize.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the match ending in the first round, your winner by technical knockout,
Tell him.
the red corner.
Thank you. Come on. Oh, fuck off then, bud.
Late in the game, had a, they wouldn't show it because I play for the Packers, but I had a pretty sweet no-looker to Devontae on the last drive that I'd kind of set up for a few plays because Darius is so athletic side to side. He loves reading your eyes, and I just kind of came back and looked left and then looked outside him on the right and threw it behind him to
Go get him. Hey, I'm so thankful Patrick Mahomes brought that into the NFL.
I know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Good for him.
Yeah, I know. It's just none of us been doing for a while. I will say this. A guy who probably doesn't get anywhere near the credit.
Brett.
We're doing shit like that all the time. He wears number 9 and plays in Detroit. Okay, that dude, what he does with the ball, it's impressive. It's really, really impressive. And I know Dan Orlovsky will highlight some stuff from time to time, sure, because they play together and they're good friends, which he should. But that dude's throwing crazy no-lookers all the time. And he can throw from any arm angle. I don't think he gets. Maybe it's Detroit. Maybe it's based on they haven't.
They just got lost 20-0 to the Panthers. They just lost 20-0 to the Panthers. I mean, that's.
I know. But he didn't. They had some guys out, Pat. Let's take it.
This is the Pat McAfee Show on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. We thank you for taking the time to seek out this small regional show that streams internationally. Here's Pat and the boys.
Welcome back to that show on this Feel Good Friday, August 13th. Friday the 13th.
Oh my goodness.
My God.
Turn the music off quick.
I missed that the first one because I did a good afternoon, good morning thing. It's Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, don't worry. I saw there's
that.
a viral video going around on the internet. Jason, he's dead.
Oh, is he? Because it was Jay's birthday yesterday. And on the same day Jay was birthed, Jason died.
Yeah, he came running out of the woods to attack people, and he tripped,
I see it.
and then he smacked his face right in the side.
I actually did think
And
that
his
was
neck
actually.
snapped.
I actually did think that was Will Compton. Because Will actually posted. I was filming something for Spooky October or something like that, and I actually thought that was. I watched it 7 times on this thing. I was like, that doesn't look like his body, right? That is not actually him.
Is he okay?
Yeah, I thought he was potentially dead. And he said he was a free agent. He was trying to get back in the league. After watching, I was like, still can bring the hit.
Yeah.
Still can bring the
Take
dump
one,
truck
too.
if he has
Heads
to.
up football, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if it was Will. If it was, T's and P's for your face. And it did appear as if Jason did die. Last night, though, what did not die, what actually thrived and came alive? Baseball.
What?
Yes.
Hey, listen.
Excuse me?
Baseball had a big night. I was watching the game. I was flipping back and forth between the Patriots-Washington game and the Field of Dreams game. Couple quick thoughts. All right?
Okay.
I don't know how anybody watches baseball before the 7th inning.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know how you do it. I have no idea how you do it. I appreciate that you do it and that you just got nothing to fucking do. I assume that you guys drive very slow on the road. You never ever make it into the left lane. You're just cruising around. You got nothing going on because that's what happens in baseball. There's 5 dingers early there, and that happened. That was awesome. But then immediately after the home run is had and the celebration happens, I get back to watching. I'm like, this fucking stinks. And I actually put out a tweet. I said, hey, Ty, do all of us baseball folk think this is an absolute snooze fest? And I want to let you know, I had never seen a colder take in my life because as soon as I put that out there, everything changed. I mean, that game got very good, very quick. Let's talk about the Field of Dreams game. Iowa native, New York Yankees fan. Heart got broken in the bottom of the 9th in storybook fashion into the corn. Fireworks went off. Your thoughts on the entire night as a member of the baseball community?
It was awesome. It really was awesome. I was worried for, like, going into it that it was going to be just super gimmicky. But it was a regular baseball game. The way they had the outfield set up too, like they knew the ball was going to fly. We were looking for home runs, and there were 8 of them total. Like it was awesome.
This ain't a gimmick. This is tradition.
That's
Kevin
right.
Costner said that.
He did say that, and Manfred has already said they are going to play there again in 2022. I mean, it'd be dumb not to do this every single year. They spent like $10 million to build this field out there, so I don't know why they would not continue to do it. But I didn't know how people were going to look at it either, but based on social media, like if you were a baseball fan, like it was fucking awesome.
Got attacked last night by the baseball community immediately upon asking you if us baseball folk found it to be as snoozy as I did or not. And they all said, well, if you don't like this, you don't like baseball. Well, good news. You're right. All right. I didn't. But, and I don't. But, unless I own the Pirates, which might happen, and I love baseball. But more specifically, Bucko baseball right there in Pittsburgh. But those last couple innings, amazing.
Yeah,
I
incredible.
mean, absolutely amazing. It was electrifying. It almost had a college baseball like feel there whenever it mattered. They were very quiet a lot of times. It was a little bit quiet for me out in the middle of a cornfield. You might as well ask me to fall asleep for a good bit of that thing. But then as it started lighting up and the crowd was going crazy, there was some Yankees chants there at the top of the 9th.
Oh, yeah.
And it sounded like it was a complete White Sox crowd there because the Yankees were down or whatever. Those 2 home runs and 3 at-bats for Aaron Judge and Giancarlo. I lift every weight there has ever been Stanton.
Yeah.
Do they test him all the time, I bet?
Oh, yeah.
It better.
His jersey, which is thick, actually conforms to his traps and lats. That guy is
He is
a
massive.
fucking monster. 2 home runs and 3 at-bats. Yankees thought they stole that thing in Iowa. Then all of a sudden, Mr. Alexander comes in and hits a walk-off dinger with somebody on first. I mean, it was beautiful. Like, I really enjoyed the ending of that. Storybook ending, fairy tale-like shit in Iowa. How was the apple pie hot dog? I heard it was good.
It's funny you mention that because I actually looked at Twitter. Some guy just sent it to a couple of us in here. He took a couple bites and threw the rest of it away. He said it was dog shit.
No, but also, this is what it looked like, says Matt Leindecker. And then they said it actually tasted pretty good.
Yeah, does it? I mean, it looks like a fucking Mickey Mouse Frank inside of a hot pot.
Guy was actually upset Anderson hit the game-winning home run because it stole kind of his...
So his name's not Alexander. It's Tim Anderson.
Tim Anderson.
Yeah, not Tim Alexander.
Could have fooled me.
In there, though.
Could have fooled me.
Listen, Tim Alexanderson, whenever he gets a hold of a ball, especially in that short porch with the corn out there, it's going a long way.
Yeah.
That
Look
was
out.
electrifying. That was beautiful. It was also in the second half of both preseason games, so there really wasn't much going on over there. Good for the MLB. Good for Rob Manfred. Maybe Kevin Costner, 1 inning. Maybe half an inning or so. 3 innings was a bit much. Didn't seem like he was that pumped to be there. He buried Joe Buck a few times. He talked about how they were able to deliver lines in Field of Dreams much better than you guys can. He said, you're a Hall of Famer, he said, and that line was delivered better than you. So that was uncalled for. I don't think Joe Buck asked for that or deserved that, but what a night for baseball.
You could have fooled me that this was a baseball game in the big Field of Dreams event. I thought it was just the Guy Fieri cooking show off, and he was introducing everybody. It was apple pie hot dog, and there happened to be a baseball game going on next to it.
I will say, the apple pie hot dog stole a lot of the headlines. Guy Fieri, he came flying in.
Crushed.
He was on the Today Show, I guess, CBS This Morning with Nate Burleson.
Yeah.
I think he was out there everywhere doing that.
I'm pretty sure Aaron Judge was looking for him at the end of the game so he could hit him in the head with a baseball bat for what he did.
That is not true.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
That is not true. Hour 1 wrapping up. Hour 2 on the other side with Rap Sheet and Friends. See you then.
Now you can
Puff it up, drinking out the bottle. It ain't even sexual when I tell you.
You have got to experience so many things, both as a businessman off the field and on the field. Is there a moment when I ask this question and pops your mind, like, what's the craziest shit you've ever seen in your entire life? Because there was a time there where it felt like you were just getting dropped into insane situations and the world was like watching you do things. Man vs. Wild, you and that Bear Grylls guy, fucking electric. That was maybe the most electric shit I've ever seen. Is there anything that you think of whenever you think, like, what's the most ridiculous thing you've been a part of?
Probably some of the most ridiculous shit I ever been a part of was, you know, I had got the restaurant which I'm in right now, and you know, when we first got it, I would come in here and I would, you know, clean up and go outside in the front, sweep up, you know, make sure everything looked nice and shit. And one morning I got up here and I noticed, you know, like, damn, this is a funky ass smell. And I looked, you know what I mean, to the side of my front door, and it's a big ass pile of shit. And I'm talking about human shit.
Yeah,
and it's right on the side of the door. So I was like, somebody done came and popped the shit right in front of the door. Like, oh, this shit is crazy. Like, I can't be in here serving food. Motherfucker come walk in and they smelling straight ass cheeks when they come in there. Like, I don't think that's the restaurant I need to eat in. So, man, I get the water hose and I'm hosing it down. And, you know, I see, you know, we got a couple, you know, dolphins that usually walk back up in front. Hey, man, did you do this? Like, oh, no. So, you know, one of them owned up to it. I said, man, check it out. So you don't do this no more. Look, you come by here, we get you a, you know what I mean, we get you a broom and, you know, you help us, we help you. You feel me? And, you know, we put together a little, I put a proposition together for him, and I ain't cleaning up shit no more.
It's a win-win. It's a win for everybody on that one. Hey, one of your former teammates. Yeah, hey, everybody wins. You're helping the people, man. That's awesome. That's why people love you. But hey,
one of them owned up to it. Just a line of questioning. The line of questioning.
His name was Willie. Willie owned up to. Matter of fact, he just left out. He saying sweeping up. He like, hey, what's up? Oh boy, I've been looking for you. You feel? Okay. Yeah, we bust down together up in the front of the restaurant to get it all cleaned up and everything.
Hey, you're helping people. Hey, Willie went from shitting outside to working inside. Let's go.
Yeah. All right.
Let's go, Willie. Let's go.
Give it up for my boy Willie, man.
I have a surprise. Obviously, that's what this show is all about. We have boots on the ground in Cleveland, who I assume knew this was going to happen all along. Ladies and gentlemen, live from Cleveland, Mr. Jason Glazer. Your thoughts on Kyle Pitts to Atlanta, fine sir? Oh, there's a delay.
Well, first and foremost, Pat, I'd like to say, hey, listen, thanks for having me. Cleveland is beautiful this time of year. Granted, it does smell like a mixture of poop and diarrhea and sewage.
Jesus.
It doesn't smell great down here.
Jesus.
But I'll tell you what, 27 years in this thing, I fucking live for the draft. Love being down here. Love being into Cleveland. But yeah, Kyle Pitts, listen. What do you want me to say? I knew this 2 weeks ago. Really? I mean, do we need to do this whole fucking song and dance?
Okay.
I'll give you guys 1 through 32 if you want to know. You know, do you want to have fun?
That's nice.
You want to not know who's going? But yeah, I had this 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm wondering is if the guy you had in your studio, Mad Mel Kiper, I know that sorry son of a bitch didn't have this 2 weeks ago.
Mike's not plugged in.
Whoa. Yes, I did. I actually just explained it.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes,
No,
I
you
did.
didn't. No,
Yes,
you
I
didn't.
did. I
No, you
had
didn't.
this.
I did.
Yeah,
I
no,
did.
no, you
I
didn't.
did. You
I
didn't.
had this.
I
I
did.
had
You
it.
didn't.
Trust me. Can
You
I
didn't.
talk for Christ's sake?
Okay, fine, yeah.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
talk? Okay,
Go ahead.
yeah. Like I said, Kyle Pitts,
No, you didn't.
unbelievable talent.
No, you didn't. You didn't fucking
Yes,
have
I
it. No, you
did.
didn't. You're a sad sack of shit,
Jason.
Kiper. I know it. I looked at your mock draft.
Jason, please relax. Oh my God.
Jeez.
Had no idea it was going to get like that. Sorry about that, Mad Mel. Obviously, there's a little bit of content there. He's saying you don't know your ass for a fucking hole in the ground, though, Mad Mel. How do you feel about that from Jason Glazer live in Cleveland?
Well, classic move. You know, Glazer looks like he's getting ready to go to a goddamn titty bar or something like that. I mean, dress up, pal. It's the NFL draft. Look at me. I'm dressed to the nines. You know, you look like an asshole. I mean, get him out of here, can we? I mean, is he going to stick around? Can we get him the hell out of here?
I think his microphone's still on. Jay, can you hear us? Jay, is everything good back there?
Listen, fuck you guys. I'm out of here. I'm going over to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm going to hang out with Dee Snider and Twisted Sister.
Are you serious? Okay, Jason, sorry. Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, Jason Glazer.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Thank you.
friends, but they still wanna watch. Clinton don't like me, but they screenshot. Did a couple shows, but they still wanna talk. Called you out, had you stuttering like a bulk. Now I'm doing shows and I'm getting some love.
Thank you. I'll tell you what, it was pretty cool. Roger Goodell gave me a big hug beforehand too, so that's a good sir. Thank you so much. Shane, you drinking? Yeah. Cheers to you, man. That was a good one. That was good. That was good. Oh, that was. I feel like it went pretty good. Oh, look at the phone.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Maybe. Welcome back to this show. Feel Good Friday the 13th, 2021. NFL football is back. Yeah! Tonight there are 3 games happening. The Bills at the Lions happening at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Titans at Falcons at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Cowboys at Cardinals at 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Those first 2 are going to be tough to watch. You'll be able to see the first half where all the stars are playing. Then Friday Night SmackDown comes on at 8 p.m. Eastern, live from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Oh! You ever seen some Cayman crocodile boots, pal? Wow. Let me go ahead and unzip that thing so you can get a little bit more breathing. Hey, don't mind the Steve Jobs photo on Stanford's campus or Hefty Lefty Jared Lorenzen, rest in peace, pal. Look at these Cayman Crocs. Now, people are going to wonder, are those good boots or not? They fucking are. Mm-hmm. Cowboy Willie Wilson told me that anybody asks about these boots, they don't know a damn thing about boots. Going to Tulsa, Oklahoma tonight for SmackDown, and then we'll wrap up the evening with Cowboys Cardinals. This is a beautiful time to be alive. There's NFL action last night. Also, baseball happened. It was like a playoff game. Yeah. It was like a World Series game. People cared about baseball again because they were playing in the middle of a goddamn cornfield. It was a beautiful thing with a beautiful ending. Congrats to Iowa for putting on a hell of a show.
Good job, Iowa.
More fireworks. Yeah. More fireworks.
See, I didn't stick around and watch the fireworks. Were they pretty good? I saw a couple of the clips on the...
Walk-off homer. Boom. As soon as that thing hits...
You got to let them fly.
I think Zambelli, you got to let those fly. And I know out in the middle of Iowa, there's probably a lot of, pyros and there's probably fireworks people and all that. They should have imported some Italians from Pittsburgh, Zambellis, to go do that thing and just let that thing. What were you saying? You said something about Italians?
No, I didn't say
I thought you made a groan about Italians.
Sounded like you did.
Did you make a groan about Italians, guys?
Not me, pal. I'd never say anything bad about the Italians.
See, now this is an interesting thing because Deep Fake Gump is now in a little bit of a pickle.
Yeah.
Does Deep Fake Gump hate the Italians?
Does Deep Fake Gump have some Italian in him, too?
Oh, does Deep Fake Gump, is he Italian or is he...
We love the Italians in Canada.
Oh, because it sounded like you made a sound whenever I said the Italians.
We put maple syrup on their pasta. It's delicious.
Don't do that.
I think exactly the question. When you see Juju do what he did on the field last night before the game, up to that same old shit, and then Mitt do the same thing, twerking in your face this morning, doing the same thing, does that make you excited about NFL football, Pittsburgh Steelers football, or does that worry you about, this looks eerily similar to last year?
Worries what I'm going to say into a microphone this year, Pat.
Oh, because you're worried.
I like what I do as a job.
And you like Juju beast.
I feel like I'm going to say something, I'm going to get fired.
What are you going to say?
Uh-oh.
What are you going to say?
Who knows?
You're not a pervert. You're just Italian. Something like that.
What are you doing?
Something worse.
So when I see red,
what has this been 3 days straight where Tony has said absolutely terrible things into a microphone?
In a row.
I didn't say anything bad there. I said
you kind of insulted him.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. You offended him.
Guy learned nothing.
It's just a kid having fun.
I agree. It seems like it's good energy there.
It's preseason.
Everybody wants him not to do it. He
Have
said,
a
I'm
good
still going to do
time.
it. Mitt does it in his face, but I do believe they are both potentially doing it for one person. Maybe Juju's also doing it for old Double M, who was ringside at AEW.
Don't
on Wednesday
lump me
night.
in with that fucking guy.
Well, in that particular world, you're not all the time, but whoa. By the way, what was that?
Tony. Tony, again?
Don't lump me in with that fucking guy.
All right, joining us now. Tested IQ of 166.
Come on, good for him, dude.
You're right. He's
What
been
is
in the,
going on?
We got to wrap things up here.
All right, lay down.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for a news segment. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rap Sheet, Wrap Up, and Friends with Ian Rappaport. What's going on?
Good.
How are you, bub?
I'm good. I like that segment. That sounds beautiful.
Well, it has friends involved in there, and I know that isn't something that normally is associated with your name, you know. What's that all about? Why did you laugh like that? That wasn't
Because his podcast got canceled with all his friends, and you have to assume maybe it's because his friends didn't want to do the podcast.
Rap Sheet, we're friends. We're friends, Rap Sheet. We're friends.
Yeah,
pal.
we're allies. The guy got a new
All of
mullet.
us, or just a couple of you guys?
We're friends, Rap Sheet.
No, I like you, actually.
Diggs, I don't know if
Yeah.
anybody wants to be necessarily friends with you right now. The couple days that you've strung together here. Diggs
Ian?
loves you, though, if that means anything. He is Italian, though, so what does that tell you?
Yeah, not a pervert.
Yeah, not a pervert. He is Italian.
Yeah, different.
It's fascinating. Ian, big week in the NFL. Preseason games are happening. We got 3 tonight. We had 2 last night. We're back in the swing of things. There's a bunch of drama and bullshit. What do we need to know going into the weekend about the NFL, you think, that is big storylines that are potentially going to build?
All right. So a couple things we're going to kind of keep our eye on. And one of them we actually saw last night, which is what do these rookies look like, right?
Okay.
I mean, I think if you watched the Patriots game last night, and who was not watching Patriots preseason football? I certainly was.
Me too.
Mac Jones looked pretty good.
He did, didn't he?
Kinda did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did. I mean, the thing about him was, it looks like he's not going to stink. I think that was my biggest takeaway. It looked like he wasn't going to stink because the poise. Now, granted, 7-point-something yards per attempt, and it looked like a lot of easy completions. He missed a couple balls, but him checking, running the hurry up, he looks very good. All reports are that he has been great this entire time. Cam's still the starter. Is there any chance that's going to change, especially not only in that situation, but also Chicago, San Fran? There's a lot of that going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like when you draft a quarterback in the first round, all anybody cares about is when's this guy going to play. And so, like, Matt Nagy and Bill Belichick can say as many times as they want, Cam is our starter, Andy Dalton is our starter. The questions are still going to come, which is good because if people didn't want a really talented young rookie quarterback to play, then, like, that would probably be a miss, right? So it seems like in all of these situations, the head coaches have been like, we like the rookies, we want to bring them on. We may actually play them. In San Francisco, Trey Lance may play some, a Trey Lance package, if you will. But it seems like the veterans are going to get out there and start. The problem is, last year Cam Newton at the beginning looked like a better than average viable quarterback. Then he got COVID, and it all went downhill. If he falters a little bit, it's just going to open the door for Mac. And the thing I would say about him last night, it looked easy completions, but like, when Tom Brady was going, I'm not saying Mac Jones is Tom Brady.
No, you gotta watch yourself.
When Tom Brady was at his best, every throw looked easy in this New England offense. And that's kind of what that reminded me of last night.
I think so too. And also the hurry up. He looked very comfortable, very confident. And for me, that is why I said, hey, this guy's probably not going to stink. You just assume the man who had the highest completion percentage or whatever in the history of college football, national champ, you assume that the throws are going to be able to be made. Now, maybe the transition is going to be much more difficult, and the long ball that he missed by half a yard that would have added probably another 80 yards on his night and he would have gone 14 of 19 as opposed to 13 of 19 with a much larger yards and probably a touchdown, by the way, in that whole thing. If he completes that, we're having a completely different conversation about how he looks like he is the part full way. But in my eyes, mentally, he just looked like he was there. Hopefully, Justin Fields will be able to get a chance to read him as well. And Trey Lance, all reports are great there. Let's swing back to something that has gotten our our boots in a bundle.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the jeans have gotten a little snug in the baby making regions or something. Maybe a little bit of a wet, a little bit of heat coming through. What is the deal with this taunting rule? Can you not? I told Tom to tell the NFL to cut the shit. I don't think he did it. He would never do that. He reads the memos.
Don't think he did.
No, he didn't. Who is this? Is this Roger Goodell? Is this Walt Anderson in his first big play as the super ref guy, review guy? And in his first move, he said, I don't want these guys having fun anymore. Why can't guys be emotional in a game that they want people to care about in an emotional game? What is this about, Ian? Why are you guys letting this happen?
I think if you ask members of the competition committee, and this is where the emphasis comes from, it's Rich McKay, who is the chairman, it's Troy Vincent, who's heavily involved and does all the competition committee meetings. It's not that guys can't be emotional. They can be emotional. You want guys to be emotional. And I know that because we celebrate celebrations now. I mean, remember when celebrations used to be bad, now we have like segments on NFL Network championing the best celebration, which I love. That's the way it should be.
Yes.
I just think, so I have two kids, beautiful kids. They're awesome. They have great hair.
Awesome.
And all I really want is for them not to be mean to each other, right? Like I want them to have fun and play sports and do whatever, but just don't be mean to each other. And I think that's sort of what this is about. Like,
shut the fuck
up. You can spin the ball, but you can't do it in someone's face.
Ian, I hope your kids aren't watching. Okay, I hope your kids aren't watching.
They are not.
Okay, good news. Tell your kids I'm big fans of them, please. But that mindset that you just said right there, get over it, dude. All right, we got people trying to kill each other. Now, I know heads up football, but everybody wants their kids to watch professional athletes, and they're not just playing for money. They're playing for the love of the game, the love of their team, like college football players are. Now you want them to be robots and not be emotional and not be invested. There's different ways to look at that for the kids. Like, okay, I don't want them to be mean to each other. All right, that's one takeaway. I would like to argue that whenever somebody picks somebody up and then places them on the ground in a very delicate fashion and doesn't put their weight on them, that could be perceived as mean, but actually it's just competition. It is sport. It is different in the realm of competition than it is in real life. You can't do a lot of things in real life that you can do in sports. So I just don't think that is an actual, I don't think that's a real, I don't think, hey, Ian, don't give me that. Hey, Ian, I don't need that, Ray. I don't have kids, so maybe that's why I'm cold-hearted there. Never watch a Disney movie.
No, you were probably cold-hearted anyway, but go ahead.
To be...
See, was that mean?
Probably.
Probably didn't feel that good.
Me, I don't care. Yeah, go ahead and let it eat. Call me cold-hearted. But what I'm saying to my kid is like, hey, if you work your ass off to accomplish something, and maybe your kids should listen to this. We'll clip this part where I won't swear because kids might be watching. If you work your ass off, okay... I think that is a swear word.
You cannot say that.
Really?
Right off the bat.
I think that is technically a swear word.
Come on.
It didn't really hit me until afterwards, but whenever little Midas Michael McAfee comes, okay, and if he watches, his uncles in the NFL and his friends that are in the NFL, and they so happen to, juju on somebody after something good happens or makes a celebration, and Midas asked me, why was he mean to him? Well, he was mean to him because he worked harder than that guy did. Okay, he beat that guy. That is what happens. He sacrificed his entire life to be able to do that, to make a good living, to represent for his team. And when he accomplished it, he was excited. And his way of handling it was by dunking on somebody else. Now, Midas, I don't know if you need to do that. Okay, we don't need that. But I'm telling you, that's how some people operate. Can't we do that? Is that not a way we could spin this thing?
That's a good point. And I'm going to be really interested to see how this actually is called and manifests itself on the field, because people are going to really lose their minds if you have the regular celebrations, but a guy happens, hold the ball out. Now, if you throw it at someone, I think that's bad. But let's say spitting the ball, but someone's right there. Are we calling that? I think that's what I need to know about the first couple weeks is how big of sticklers are we going to be? Because nobody likes the moniker "No Fun League," right? They don't even say that anymore because of the celebrations. But that's what it's going to be if they start getting real stingy on some of these is it taunting, is it not, but still a penalty.
Ian, I hate to break this news to you, and I know you've been working and avoiding fights with the Titans head coach and things like that, but the No Fun League was trending for, I think, 8 hours.
Yeah,
just 9 hours. It came back.
Was it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I don't want to say it was potentially, at the fire, man, and we threw a little gasoline on it, but I do believe that the natural reaction was, why? Because like you said, back in the day, there was no celebrations. Now there's entire segments. It makes the entertainment better. Why are we trying to get rid of this? And I assumed that if you make it a rule and say, like, hey, you can't be egregious with it, like throwing a ball at somebody, like dancing on a logo, like anything like that. But the point of emphasis, I think, is what scares us all, because points of emphasis, we all know, are like super regulated, right? And first couple weeks they'll probably change it. Last night, though, there was a situation where somebody did a ball drop, somebody was in the area, they didn't call it. I wonder if Walt and the boys and Troy will say, hey, this should have been called, or if that's kind of the precedent that's being set, you know?
I will ask about that, because I would like to know, too, like, should that have been a penalty or should that not have? Because it's, you know, we really should know the difference now, right? Between, like, you know, let's say you make a big hit on someone, you stand over and you kind of like, that's not great. But holding the ball out, you know, something in their face and they happen to be, I don't know. I will ask your question, because I hope that was the right call.
I hope so too, because you can't take emotions out of this. You know, you can't take emotions out of the sport. And some guy, I'm not saying everybody should be like that, okay? And I think there was a lot of celebrations that were maybe you're doing too much. You know, like I think there was a lot of that. But if somebody's natural move is to and even yell at somebody, like why are we changing? Like, I don't know. Why are you taking that out of the competitive? Like, why are you taking competitors out of competition? Some people will do things differently. And by the way, if the quiet person doesn't like that, easy way to stop it. Just make a play. You know what I mean? Like easy. That's kind of how sports have always been handled. So I think, you know, like, hey, wear your seatbelt type law we got going on here, I think is maybe my natural reaction. Be like, okay, I can put it on myself if I want to. If they don't want me to scream in their face, tell them not to fucking let me do that. Like there's just a lot of that. I think I might be in the wrong. I might be old school. I might not understand what's going on in the future, and I don't have any kids. So I guess that's an entire thing. Go ahead, Diggs.
Ian, Joe Schobert, Common Steelers, late round pick. What kind of pick are we looking at? What was going on in Jacksonville? He's a tackling machine. Why didn't Urban want him? They just paid him last year. What's going on, Ian?
Yeah, is he good still?
Oh, he's good.
I was a little surprised by this. Now, I knew the Steelers were looking at all sorts of different options as far as trying to find a linebacker, right? They lost Vince Williams, which they were surprised by that. Like, he's the locker room leader, literally showed up to Kevin Colbert, the GM, was telling me about this when I was there, right before you guys dumped some absolutely incredible sandwiches in my lap.
Hey, we appreciate you, Rap Sheet, man. We do. We really do.
That was
CFO Phil made a drive. Big move.
So basically, Vince Williams showed up. He was big into their plans, and he was like, I don't feel it anymore, so I'm not going to play. And they were on a mad dash for a linebacker. And Joe Schobert is good. He is kind of expensive, $7.5 million. So that's what the Steelers have to pay now. And that's why it's a late round pick. And he is a tackling machine. He does have great numbers. But I think what's going on now is you're going to see the Jaguars defense will probably look like the Ravens defense. And they have good linebackers generally with the Ravens, but they're not guys that cost a lot of money. Like, they believe they can get it done without high-priced guys. They invest a lot in the front. They pay a lot of defensive tackles, but not a lot of linebackers. Same organization that let C.J. Mosley go because they didn't want to franchise him. Like, I think that's more what this is. Plus, he's an old regime guy, and you don't get the benefit of the doubt if you're an old regime guy.
He and Urban got beef. Is it because he announced the drill winner? Like, Urban Meyer got on that thing. He was like, Joe Schobert just lost again, and he cost $7.5 million. Is that happening down there, or is it just business?
I think you are going to see. I don't know for sure that Urban fell out of love with Joe Schobert, but I do think you're going to see some interesting and fast declarations, decisions by Urban Meyer, because that's kind of what this, I guess, right? Like, I would imagine cutdown day and the next couple weeks for the Jags are going to be interesting, and you usually see a lot of turnover. You just don't usually see it in camp. Usually it's like March and April is when you see the new coaches make their impact.
I like that Urban's finally got it, because remember, his big problem was he didn't get a chance to meet a lot of the guys that he's bringing in before he even signed them. Now he's getting to meet them. He's like, that guy's not on the edge. Get him out of here. Yep. He ain't about Duval. Get him out of here as well. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't, obviously people will compare him to how Saban was when he went to the NFL and many other, and also Chip probably. I mean, Chip had some success.
Bobby Petrino.
Petrino, I mean, he had a
that
hell of a
didn't work out
at all, by the way, down there in Atlanta. From what I was told, there was a allegedly a couple players that were going to fight Petrino, actually.
say.
Yeah, whenever he was allegedly. These are just alleged things like, hey, you guys aren't allowed to speak on the bus. Petrino, I got fucking more kids than you do. How about you? And I've been in the NFL. How about you get the hell out of here? How about that? Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Rapshi, 2 questions. 1, will we see Nick Caserio on the sideline with a headset? And 2, what sick son of a bitch at NFL Network put Siciliano in a massive chair last night?
Yeah, let's before we get to the Caserio, let's talk about Siciliano. The way you guys are handling him is unbelievable.
Despicable.
He should be filing every grievance he can possibly file. You had him sitting in the same chair Willie McGinnis was sitting in, and you guys, the way the camera was, Willie's closer to the camera than Siciliano. So not only is he sitting on a love seat, or it looks like he's sitting on a love seat, they also put him further away from. I don't like what the NFL Network's been doing to Siciliano all training camp.
Disgusting.
Yeah, but back to Caserio. Sorry about that.
There's got to be a better word. When you're sitting on a love seat by yourself, there's got to be a term for that. Like, it can't be called a love seat because there's obviously no love. You're by yourself.
Well, that's what the NFL Network is showing Siciliano is the no love seat they're putting. Yeah, look at that.
Come on.
Hey, that's not the only one, by the way. Whenever they're on the road out of practice,
him next to Joe Thomas.
They
put him on a slant.
Oh, they had him downhill to Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas closer to the camera than him. Siciliano looked 2 feet tall. I mean, it was unbelievable. Siciliano, incredible host, by the way.
Yeah.
Big fan of the way he runs things. Thinks he's very calm. I think you guys need to have a little bit more respect for this guy, though. I think
He doesn't need to sit in David Baker's chair every single time he goes on TV.
That's all we're saying.
Absolutely fair.
I think that is what, by the way, a love seat is called if it's only one person.
Oh, a David Baker.
A David Baker.
Okay.
Friend of the show. Friend of the show.
Love you, David.
Love David.
He's just big. I mean, he's a great guy, but just very large.
400 pounds. Let's get now back. Sorry that we kind of, because we do have some gripes with your network with what they're doing to old sis Donner, especially this week that Italians have had thus far. But let's go to another Italian, Caserio down there in Houston.
Yeah, so I would be surprised if he was on the sidelines with a headset, and I don't know for sure if general managers are allowed to be, but he was on the headset in New England in the booth. He was, I mean, one of the draws of him as a GM is that he can do a lot of things. He can jump in a drill and do it and get in the mix. He has a great arm. He can throw to receivers. He can coach, which I believe he has done on some level. And he gets in the booth and kind of up high and has a headset on and is involved. Maybe providing information, maybe just wanting to know what's happening, the inner workings of his team. It is a different setup, and I think, when you have a situation like Deshaun Watson, everyone questions everything.
True.
I do have questions with how they are handling that, but I've never had questions with him being on a headset, because as a GM, you should literally know every single thing happening with your team, and I think that does help him get informed.
Okay, so Houston's fan base is incredible. Every time I played down there, they were loud, they were all in. I think it's a very, old school, all the way back to the Oilers. It's a smart football fan base, I think. They're a passionate group. But what's going on down in the Texans right now? You got a pastor who thinks he's an owner.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. You got an owner who thinks he's a pastor. You got a GM that thinks he's a coach. And you got a coach
wants to be a fisherman.
Wants to retire.
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell is going on down there? It seems like they are the team going into the season that has the most amount of shit. Is that inaccurate? Are they the ones going? Now, obviously, when I say shit, I'm not talking about the incredibly serious allegations that are happening outside of the football world to the most important player on the team, who is also the biggest salary cap hit at quarterback. And I don't know how that's going to get handled. You have always brought us incredible information on that situation that has confused us on how they're going to manage that whole thing. But the Texans feel like a team that's destined for complete failure, right? At this moment, you can't win games. It's not easy to win games in the NFL, especially whenever everything seems to be going haywire. Are they going to have any success, you think? Is there any optimism coming out of that camp, or do they feel good about everything?
I wouldn't describe them as feeling good about everything because there's so much. You're right. There's the obviously serious allegations against Deshaun Watson. There's basically complete roster turnover, just absolutely complete turnover. I mean, I know they went in there and did not think very highly of the talent that had been accumulated, rightfully so. They got rid of a lot of people. I think improved a little bit at basically every position. So they should be with Deshaun Watson a little bit better than last year and kind of moving up. Problem is, I don't know if they're going to have Deshaun Watson. I know he is still intent on not playing there. So you talk about a situation where could they be terrible? Well, let's say at some point they eventually trade Deshaun Watson and they themselves are bad. Well, then if you fast forward a little bit, then you have a team that's terrible that will be trading their franchise quarterback for a ton of picks. So they'll have a high pick, and then they'll get a lot of picks, and then they have very few players on the roster that anyone is tied to or tied to contractually. So I think that's what a restart looks like. So might they be bad this year? They could be bad, yes. But in the future, it's not that crazy, maybe.
Easterby's looking at every other team and saying, hey, it's time to pay tithes. You know what I mean? What Easterby and McNair are going to do to rebuild that thing in their name, in their eyes, in their vision, with Caserio and Jesus himself at the helm. I mean, there is a chance this Texans team gets back because the AFC South is only growing. It's a bad time to be a Texan. Hopefully they'll be able to figure that out. Go ahead, Ty. Thank you for your time, Rappaport. Right, by the way.
Ian, I know their Twitter account said that there's no cause for concern or anything, but have you heard anything more about Dak's little strain he's got going on down here? He's in a tough spot, obviously, because they want to get him ready for the season. But is there any? I mean, is he going to miss an extended period of time in the preseason here with this?
The way it was described to me was you'll probably see him in the third preseason game, which actually for the Cowboys is the fourth preseason game. But that is the hope. Get him on the field for 8 plays, let him throw 2 passes quickly, and get him out of there and start the season. I haven't sensed any concern. I think the only reason there's concern is because the Cowboys Twitter account tweeted that. And they are a little different. They'll do criticism, they'll do commentary. They are more open and opinionated than a lot of other teams' Twitter accounts. But I do think it's hilarious because all they were trying to do is not raise concern, and then everybody read that and we're like, oh my God, there's concern. It's like when you start a conversation with, I'm not trying to insult you, and you're like, oh God, what is coming here?
A little bit.
You did. Yeah, I mean, I didn't actually, panic because he was throwing, and if you read into it, Dak is actually, I think, waiting to get back to Dallas to get the MRI so they can further know what the hell's going on. But just like you, immediately upon hearing somebody say, this isn't a reason to worry, it's like, well, here we go. Here's a panic for sure. That's just classic Twitter and overreaction. But Dak, hey, that Washington football team, hey, with Fitzmagic, seems like they are a lock for that NFC East.
Look out.
Dallas Cowboys.
Wow.
I do. I think so. Personally.
The Cowboys personnel is good.
I agree.
I agree. It is good.
Always is.
And Jerry, maybe we get a little bit more Jerry in Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll change the way I view who's going to win the NFC East or not. And make a little bit more Jer, a little bit more Big Mike.
Right.
Let's keep Zeke in there. All right, let's keep this thing going. There's been a couple bad Hard Knocks, everybody says. I enjoy it because it's like a peek inside of a building, like basically my life was. But I hope this could be very good with how great their personnel is. To your point, a lot of superstars walking around that building down there. Go ahead, Gumpy.
Yeah, Rap Sheet, how much time do you think Tua's going to get tomorrow in the Dolphins' first preseason game?
I would say my guess, I don't know this for sure, but my guess is probably not quite as much as everyone thinks. I'd have to go back and ask and look at this. I don't know how much he got last year. I know they want to get him reps. It's never worth injuring anyone. So I'm sort of the opinion of just get their feet wet, let them throw a couple times, maybe get hit once in some sort of semi-safe way and get them out of there.
Oh, okay. Hit in a safe way.
It's different.
Don't be mean. Don't be mean. Hit him in a safe way. Don't be mean.
Don't taunt him.
Don't be.
There you go.
Hit him in a safe way. It's football. I mean, that's real life.
It does sound like Tua's had a pretty good camp, and I don't know what he's going to end up being, but it seems like at least now he is a viable starter with a team with a defense that should be really good.
Let's go.
I think they'll be okay in Miami.
We have one of the only Dolphins fans on earth here in the show. He's very excited.
Wow,
to see.
I didn't know that.
He's actually the one that made Chan Gailey retire because he announced that he was dead, basically.
Hell of a career, Chan. Hell of a career.
that hire did not go great.
Well, that's how he felt too, and he was very loud about it on a regular basis. And we assume that members of the Gailey family saw that and maybe led to his whole thing. So we're potentially our toxicity knows no bounds, especially when it comes to our Canadian bearded Dolphin fan. Last thing before we get out of here, though, he's from North Left Canada.
That's a lot to handle right there.
Fan of the Dolphins down here. Yeah. It makes no sense. He also loves the Red Sox, which are over here.
Oh, yeah. Go Sox.
Which makes no sense. They stink, huh?
No, we're very good. We're going to make it in the wild card. We're better than the Yankees.
Nah, Yankees are hitting bombs, dude. You see what they did last
Hitting bombs, losing games.
Well, that's because they put Bear in it. You can't fucking put that guy. Britain, yeah.
By the way, you mentioned the Yankees game last night. So the home run in I guess it was the top of the ninth, into the cornfield, the Yankees hit. There was a great shot of a very large Yankee fan going absolutely crazy on TV.
Whoa.
My college roommate.
We saw Big Drunk out there. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Pretty great moment.
How much did he pay for that? Did he win the lottery, get the ticket into there? Did you reach out to him? And how did he get in? I guess they were selling for...
Yeah, I saw people scalping him like 2 tickets for $10,000 last night.
He has been planning to go for like 2 years, so I think he had the tickets on lock.
Yeah, what a heartbreaker there at the very end.
Last question. So great. I love it.
Going into the weekend before we get out, who are you, a Mets guy?
Oh, yeah. They fucking stink.
You're a Mets guy?
Yep. Yep. Coming off a big sweep, by the way.
Who cares? I mean, they stink, right? They're not going to be in the game. They're not going to be in the game.
Nah, Braves are coming.
Get DeGrom back in September. Get Syndergaard out of the bullpen.
Baseball
Get Lindor back. There's a lot of good things happening with the Mets coming up. Not right now, but coming up soon.
How many home runs did the Mets hit in Iowa? None. Next question. Let's move forward. Last question before we get out of here, Ian. Can't thank you enough for your time on this beautiful Wrap Up and Friends, Rap Sheet, Wrap Up and Friends conversation here on this Feel Good Friday the 13th. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. We don't know anything. What do you know? It looks like he's slinging it all over the yard into buckets. How is the whole kumbaya situation going? We saw Gunther Kuntz's press conference immediately after Aaron's 35-minute piece of art that he did. Gunther Kuntz came in there, still a little snotty, still a little arrogant. I think he came off as a big fat stooge in that particular instance. Yep. But they said there's pictures of them talking again. What do you know on your side? Are they getting back together? Is Aaron Rodgers going to be a Packer for a long haul? Is that the eyeball? Is that how it looks right now? Or are we still doing the same? It's just business.
So when this deal happened, immediately everyone was like, all right, one more year for Rodgers, last dance. Him and Devontae did the pictures on Instagram together, and that's it. I am not so sure. Honestly, I'm really not, because they seem not kumbaya, but fine, right? I mean, you don't have to be best friends with the GM. All over the NFL, you have star players who are fine, but not best friends with management. It's management. It's not like you have to be best friends with your boss. Although, obviously, in your show, you're the boss and everyone is actually best friends with you, but it's not always like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It'll end at some point, but we know that.
Yeah, no, of course, There'll be a last dance.
This will end before then. This will have a Belichick, like, hey, it seems like our time is about, and then it'll end before it gets to that.
Oh.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, I've already told you guys, you're going to have to do something else probably at some point.
Go back to smoking cigs and, laying concrete there.
Nah, you'll have too much money. You'll have too much money to get back into that concrete thing. You'll probably blow through too many cigs if I had to guess.
That's true.
Especially with that new mullet you got. But
what?
Man, mustache.
What?
All right, sorry about that, but you're right. Yeah, you don't always have to get along with your boss.
I really think, I don't know if I do not know if he's going to be back next year, but I think they're going to be really good. I think if they are going to start paying attention to him and listening to what he says, and even if they don't always do what Rodgers says, just understanding his point of view, I really think it could be okay. Like, he has said very clearly, and as you mentioned, that absolute masterpiece of a press conference, he doesn't want to be a lame duck quarterback, which at least would make me think that he thinks about possibly coming back again so he's not a lame duck. I don't know. Maybe they had to get through it and get out the other side to kind of appreciate things. I don't know. I think there are a lot of options as far as how it actually ends eventually.
Yeah, I think one side does appreciate things. The other side is ingrates. You know what I'm talking about?
I think I know which side you're talking about.
Yeah. All right, just make sure we had that clear.
Double check.
Because the way you were describing things, I was like, whoa, you're talking about both roads there. I think it's a one-way street of suck happening for a long haul here. It's just me personally. I am biased because Aaron Rodgers Tuesday is back.
Wow.
Yeah, you're welcome. That'll help your season out, I think, right?
Did you just make the announcement, or did we knew this already? We knew this already.
This guy stinks. All right. Yesterday, dude. All right, thank you so much for your time.
I was playing golf. Jeez.
Oh, how's the game? How's the game?
Shot 85. It's fantastic. It was great.
How many mulligans, breakfast ball, did you fluff?
No, played with one ball the whole time.
Wow.
I shot 39 in the back. Life is absolutely good. I'm never playing again. It's too good now.
Yeah, was that your last round of the year? Yeah, before football season. Now you got to actually work and stop being just a slap dick.
I may sneak in a couple more. We'll see.
Why does that keep happening?
I don't know.
Bullshit. Ian, we can't thank you enough. Have an incredible weekend. We're so thankful for you keeping us updated on everything that's happening in the NFL world. Enjoy the preseason. You on NFL Network all day this weekend or no?
I am. I will try to sneak in a couple appearances before the games. I'll go to the pool, come do TV, go back to the pool. See how it goes.
What a life, dude. Ladies and gentlemen, host of Rap Sheet, Wrap Up, and Friends, the show that's on hiatus, Rap Sheet and Friends, and a insider for NFL.com and NFL Network. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rapport. I got something digging into my neck back here.
Oh, on the wire?
You got a fucking dart in your neck.
Yeah, I love you, man, but that's kind of...
It's eerily similar.
Is that what it was? I wonder if that's how they found that voice in...
Holy shit.
They just had Dan Campbell mic'd up.
You got a dart in your neck, man.
These guys are playing like they got fucking darts in their neck, man. Flying around,
Lay down, man.
It could be.
That could be, yeah. Motor City Dan Campbell.
Actually, next time he comes on, we should ask him if he recorded the audio for that. Because that's not Will Ferrell.
Did you do VO, dude? You do a little voiceover for Will there whenever he got shot in the petting zoo in old school? I'll tell you what, man.
It's funny you mentioned that, man. I was actually talking with Sheila. I did.
I did,
man. Yeah.
Yeah, movie star. Yeah. This is after I worked in the Chicken Shack. This guy's the best.
Yes.
Debuts tonight, right?
Huh?
Yeah.
Debuts tonight.
Oh, yeah. And I am, what time's the game? 7?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, so I'll be watching on my phone probably down there in Tulsa.
Perfect.
Trying to keep up with this entire thing. Him coming out of that tunnel. Oh. He had a little knee brace on when he was doing those down-ups, the media said.
True.
So maybe he's trying to get into better shape. But him coming out on the field with Jared Goff right next to him, like, I'll tell you what, man, this guy.
We fucking live for this, man. Don't forget it. Enjoy it, Jared. Let's go get him, man.
Are they keeping score, man? Oh, the Lions are going to win tonight, aren't they?
100%. We're the best preseason team in football.
They're playing starters. I don't think the Bills are. Not confirmed, but I don't think the Bills are.
Okay, so we're betting on the Lions. Hammer down, boys. All right, here we go. Let's get into it. Last night, Foxy continues his run of being an undefeated NFL gambler in the 2021 season. Yeah. He had a parlay even. He said, hey, Patriots, Steelers, parlay that thing. You're going to make even more money. This comes after his Hall of Fame bet hitting and cashing with no problem at all.
Oh, yeah.
Foxy's the hottest NFL gambler that we have. He's giving out 2 bets for every single game at this point. What's that? What are you pointing?
Connor also undefeated.
Unfortunately, I was undefeated until the Eagles laid an egg because I did.
Everyone who bet the Eagles lost?
I did take the Eagles, so I'm 2-1.
I bet on the Eagles as well.
A lot of Steelers hate in this fucking room.
No, I strictly took the Eagles because Foxy took the
Preseason,
Steelers.
Man.
I love the Steelers.
Shut up, Foxy.
Are they keeping score or not? You know, the Lions going to win tonight though for sure. There's no way Dan Campbell loses his fucking debut.
Not a chance.
They opened at +2. They're now -1.5. Everyone's on the Dan Campbell trade.
I think whenever he talked about selling the chicken in that window, I think that was when I was all in. All right, this guy is still Dan Campbell. Like,
Yeah.
I'm happy he has not changed at all.
Yeah.
And I assume at this point in his life, he'll probably say the same thing as me. Like, I think I'm too dumb to change at this point. So, a lot of people, hey, you just keep being you. It's like, hey, you just fuck off, all right?
Are they keeping starters in the whole game?
They might.
They will take the lead, I assume, and they will want to potentially keep that out. Non-kneecaps to get a win. I don't know if you set the standard and the culture in preseason. A lot of veteran coaches, older coaches, hey, preseason, let's just get better. Let's use this for what this is. In your debut, the way MCDC is, this game, I think, means a little bit more to Detroit the city,
Yeah.
the team, and definitely Sheila Ford Hamp and MCDC. I mean, this is a debut. You only get that one time. First impressions can only happen a couple times. Your MCDC opening press conference, first preseason game. Let's assume he'll do a sideline interview. It'll be awesome. He'll do a pregame interview. It'll be awesome. He'll do a postgame interview. It'll be awesome. And the Lions are probably going to win in this thing.
And that's exactly why I'm hammering the Lions tonight for my pick of the night.
Wow.
Have to do it.
Hey, that's the Foxy Fire pick of the night.
Foxy Fire pick of the night.
Undefeated gambler.
Follow Foxy.
NFL gambler in the 2021 season. Hammer down, boys. Your thoughts on these games tonight? Do we got any good leads? The Lions are going to play to win. How about the Titans and Falcons? We get Kyle Pitts. We get a chance to see his guy. Is Julio going to play for Tennessee? Is Braves going to have the boys out there flying around? Cowboys, Cardinals, your thoughts there?
So Cowboys Cardinals started the week at over under 40. I talked about it, how Dallas only scored 3 against the Steelers. Their backup quarterback stinks, so I don't have much faith in them. That total has dropped to 38.5. I still like the under a little bit in that one.
Oh, so we're going unders bets here.
I think
Here we
so.
go.
Okay, Dallas.
Titans, the Falcons one, I got no read on that one.
You think Cliff Kingsbury and Colt McCoy and Kyler Murray are not going to put up 21, 24 points, you don't think?
They can put up 24.
They still got Stravolski
Shit, they
down
can-
there.
they can
I'm
put up-
going for the over. I'm on this one.
They do still have Stravolski, which does scare me.
Yeah, Stravolski's still drunk from that Grey Cup parade.
But
That he's in. or
Cardinals
whatever.
win, 33-3. It's cool with me.
Yeah, you're right. Could happen. That's still the under. All right, so I'm betting the over in that game. Diggs, I don't like fading you, obviously. You're a big unders guy, but in my eyes, I feel like for the good of the show and for the good of the sport, anytime somebody says, hey, I'm pulling for bad football, I'm going to root for good football.
Yeah.
Just the way, kind of offset that whole
Pat,
thing.
I will never be upset if you go against me on a preseason game.
Yeah, regular season, though, it is quite a conversation, and I understand that. We're all trying to fight. Hey, it's preseason for all of us. The refs.
That's right.
Commentators. Everybody. It's preseason for everybody. Not to hammer down, boys, though. You guys are in mid-season form, so I'm going under there or over there. Shit. Don't ever say that. Golly. That's like you're hoping for missed kicks and picks and fumbles.
Which happened quite a bit in preseason.
A lot, yeah. Especially this year seems to be a lot of ugly shit.
Tell you what, who did look really good last night, Jake Elliott was very good last night.
Bad year last year,
Yeah.
too. So he's coming off a bad year. New regime. The fact that they kept him around, awesome. And Jake Elliott is an absolute baller for the Eagles. Happy to see him back on. Hey, also look good. Jordan Berry over there.
Yeah.
Presley Harvin had the Hall of Fame game. Jordan Berry had this game. 2 punts inside the 5, was bombing it. Will he be able to stay consistent? That's the biggest question. He's down to same with Presley. They're entrenching battle. Did Sirianni give any speeches last night?
Not that I
don't think so. I'm
The
hoping
boys
he's
did-
just kind of.
The water was not the right temperature for them last night, though.
Well, Kobayashi sometimes have to run into a Joey Chestnut.
That's right.
And that's my biggest deal with fucking Sirianni. Okay, I don't care about whatever story you got to get to keep people intrigued and interested to know to do the smaller things and the finer things to take care of the bigger things, and the details are really where the devil lives, and that's where they matter. I'm okay with that. But Joey Chestnut literally dunked on Kobayashi like 15 straight years, Sirianni.
Come on.
He's American hero.
It's like John Cena against Roman Reigns. Come on, dude.
All right, we're back in 4 minutes. All right. You're a bad guy. We're back in 4 minutes with some phone calls on the 5-Hour Energy phone line. 1-833-4-McAfee. We'll talk to you then. Cannot wait for it. I'm pumped for it.
Yeah, hell yeah. Me too.
I'm super excited.
A lot of good calls on that list. I know.
And AJ Hawk's joining us on the other side.
Wow.
This is awesome. Let's have a Friday, huh? The NFL is implementing the Hawkeye replay system, which has the smart technology, which is synchronized multi-angle replay technology, which allows the ref to view all of the shots and angles of a certain play at the same damn time, as opposed to what they've been doing all along, which is TV producers deciding what replays they see when. Are you kidding me?
Unbelievable.
What? Now, we know a lot about these TV producers, okay?
Yeah.
I couldn't see Joey Josh Chestnut eat his 76th fucking hot dog, all right? Bullshit. On 4th of July to break his own record because of a production. We've seen a lot of other rather terrible decisions made in television, in broadcasting of games made. Those same people now, I'm learning, were the people that were deciding what angles the 95-year-old refs in the NFL were getting to see. This is absurd. Thankful that the XFL, who had the Hawkeye smart technology, synchronized multi-angle replay technology, either created, invented, or used from other places, like tennis has this, I believe. I like that we're expediting the replay system. I like that we're getting up with the times. Replay should be an asset to the NFL as opposed to what it is, which seems to be a burden. The pass interference replay thing, because of how terrible they botched the execution of that, it probably will never be brought up or, thought about again, because fans will be able to say, oh, remember when they did that last time? It's like, no, remember how they executed that last time. The replay system is run by people who have not a lot of experience with maybe quick, slow-mo, fast forward, maybe just content being in their face all day, every day. I like that we're making this better. It's better for the game. It's better for everybody. There's a lot of money on the line. Let's not let an opportunity pass where we can utilize technology to make sure the right shit gets done. Let's just do it in a much more efficient fashion. I've always felt that way, AJ.
Well, it's much more efficient, but it makes me question, how did we go this long to where a TV producer is controlling what replays, what angles you're going to see, for the referee, that kind of blows my mind when you think about it.
Yeah, I read it yesterday and I almost axled my pants.
Yeah.
I didn't because I'm an adult, but you get it.
Right. I don't know. I bet you have in the last 5 years.
No, I haven't, but there was that one time where I thought it was going to be a sound, and it was actually action.
Yeah, a little close. That's a different story, though.
Yeah, but it wasn't a full axle, I don't think.
Yeah, no, sharding is not
you
pooping.
Didn't step in it.
Whoa, I have a little couth on for the goddamn good of the show. But speaking of that, I was quite alarmed whenever I read that TV producer. I'm like, the same people that are making a lot of the decisions that we get a chance to witness every single week are the same people that are deciding whether or not a play that I have a lot of money riding on potentially is overturned or not. I am not about that. Hey, as we get back into society, let's remember, people will punch you in the fucking mouth.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
On an error is its second.
Every day is game day for these guys. It's showtime on the Pat McAfee Show.
Welcome back to that show. Regular season football is getting closer, isn't it?
Yeah!
And even though most of you won't be out on the gridiron on Sundays, most of you listening won't.
Some of them, though.
Some of the people listening right now will have pretty big games on Sundays.
We're strapping up.
Not all, most of you won't.
Well,
but don't worry about it, because our friends at CBDMD have everything you need to stay calm, comfortable, and well-rested enough to cheer your team to victory. Woo!
That's what I'm talking about.
That's a good little read there.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, you might not be in the game or on the field, but your energy is needed on Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, in America, Canada, Mexico, Europe, Australia, Japan. Your team needs you. You got to be well rested. You got to be comfortable. You got to be everything you could possibly be to show up on game day for your team that needs you the most. Yeah. CBD Freeze with Menthol is an award-winning product that offers instant cooling relief for muscles and joints to help you stay relaxed no matter what's happening with your team.
No matter what?
No matter what is happening with your team. CBD PM, it blends melatonin with CBD and other herbal ingredients to get you the sleep you need after those late Monday night games or Sunday night football. Yeah. I'll tell you what, man. And CBD sour gummies are the perfect mouth-puckering pick-me-up for when things start turning sour. So no matter how your team's doing or how long you spend leaning forward and yelling at the TV, CBDMD has your back all season long. And to make it even easier to try everything CBDMD has to offer, they're giving you 25% off your next order when you use the promo code McAfee at checkout. Once again, that's CBDMD.com, promo code MCAFEE for 25% off your purchase of superior CBD products. That deal will be ending soon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It will be.
So get those sour gummies while you can.
Wow, you can. Joining us now out of his attic in Ohio, ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hahn.
Hey, AJ!
Hey, that's a good wolf shirt, dude. That's a good wolf shirt.
How's it going, man?
All-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, Super Bowl champion, college football national champion, and a man who had a 75-yard tent in his yard and nobody could even notice because his property's so big. AJ Hawk, I'm good. Did you hear Ian Rappaport talk about how he doesn't want his kids to see people being mean to each other? That's why the taunting rule happened. And did you immediately see me accidentally blurt out of my mouth, "Shut the fuck up"? And that was, he did not deserve that. But is that actually what you think it is? You have 4 kids. Is that what's happening out there?
I absolutely think there's a section of people that think, we don't want to teach our young kids that it's okay to upstage people like that. There is definitely a camp like that. I feel like I don't hang around a bunch of them, but they're out there.
Ian Rappaport's kids are not going to be professional athletes, right?
Probably you know what, though? Didn't you give him some advice on how you would handle it with little Duber, your potential kid down the road?
Well, Duber's out.
I thought it was great advice.
But Midas, it's real though. That is a real thing. Like, how come we have to view it as them being mean and not them accomplishing something that they've put their entire life into? Like, I think that's a bad spin. If that's the way you're teaching things, let's assume that your kid's probably not going to be a professional athlete. So who cares what's happening in the game for what your kid is? Now, Ian Rappaport's kid might be unbelievable at sports, but it sounds like he's not going to have a competitive gene if he thinks flexing on somebody is mean. If that is what he's being told, like, hey, that is mean, and maybe we just grew up differently. But I'll tell you what, we're playing kick the can as a little kid. If I dominate that can, I am letting everybody. That's the type of competitor I was. Jay was a silent assassin whenever he did things. He was Barry Sanders. I've been here before. I just think we shouldn't.
You have to. That's what makes it fun. I mean, when I play knockout with my kids, all I do is talk trash to them the whole time. And when I know, I get very proud of them when they knock me out and they start talking trash to me and they actually have some decent lines.
Hey, the real world, okay? The things that when your kids have decent lines. Hey, that was pretty clever.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that was good. Pretty clever. Good delivery. All right, that was pretty good.
Good work.
I mean, you're going to get run out of the gym if you're playing against anybody in Florida, so we'll have to work on that. But let's make sure we maybe continue to deliver those lines. But I just don't see. You can't do, okay, in real life, like equating something that happens on the field to real life, and grit, toughness, adversity, dealing with things. Like, I think those are all valuable lessons that you can learn from watching athletes. But when somebody flexes on somebody saying, see, that's mean, well, then it's like, don't do that in real life. Also, don't run down the street and spear somebody either, because that's happening in the NFL. That's happens every single day. Don't punch somebody in the arm to get around them and then tackle one of their friends as hard as you can in real life, by the way. It's just like with the word fuck. Like, okay, everybody comes after me for saying, like, some adults used to, they don't now, because it's just like, hey, you are speaking to a wall when it comes to me speaking like this. By the way, this is how adults speak. This happens everywhere, because in your fairy tale world, you don't want it to happen because tell your kids not to say it, okay? And I understand it's a parrot. In a parrot situation, I learned that with Axel the other day, so it's not as easy. But there has to be some sort of like accountability on the parents. Like, yo, you can flex on somebody if you work your ass off and do something for $1 billion organization and for your friends and your teammates you never thought. You can't be doing that just to your brother and sister walking around the house when you accomplished nothing, like a little bum. Like, isn't there not? Can we not do that? Can we not
look at it like? Don't you always say you look at people like they're characters in a movie? Like, that's what you should probably look at the football field and say these. It is like when I watch football, you don't think of them as people. You're like, these are superhumans out there making unbelievable plays. Let's just leave it at that, and then say, hey, like, they separate. This isn't the real world. You're watching a movie here in this game.
Hey, this is not real world. Probably for you either. You know, like.
But then they'll say, like, if I catch a touchdown in my flag game, can I stand and flex over top of the guy?
Depends on how good the catch is. That's what. If it's not a good catch and you do it, I won't allow you to play ever again. Okay, and that might as well give me your phone and go into your room. Yeah. But if you snag one on a kid, and you want to feel pretty good about it, I'm okay with it. If you get punched, by the way, you're gonna have to eat one. Like that comes with it. There are some things that potentially come with it.
There's consequences. Yeah, I think it's good to just give him as much information as you possibly can and let him know. Like, I thought it was good when you told Ian. Say, hey, like, you don't have to do this. You don't have to be this guy, but hey, this is why he may have flexed on the guy, because of all the work and it all accumulated, and he was so excited.
Nah, we don't like it. Let's get rid of it.
Nah, it's mean.
Come on. It's rude.
It's mean. It's mean, but it's not mean to try to take some dude's head off 65 plays in a row.
No. It's football.
It's different.
Let's go to the phones.
It's different.
Let's go to the 5 Energy phone line. Let's go to Devin in Arizona.
Coaches are mean a lot.
They're the meanest, by the way. And we we're writing a lot of articles about them being the greatest.
Yeah. What did BA say to the media the other day?
Hey, you know what else is mean? When GMs just fire guys. Is that? Can we stop firing guys? That's pretty mean. You don't. Hey, he just took his entire livelihood. His entire family actually has to pick up and move somewhere and go to a whole new school and a whole new everything. That's mean. Are we not? Is that not
and
mean?
it's public, and everybody knows your dad was fired and you guys are moving out of town.
Sorry.
That's pretty mean. Can we stop doing that?
I think this is a deeper conversation.
Well, I'm just
May take
saying,
some time.
I'm sick of the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I told
Good.
Tom, hey, NFL, cut the shit. Cut the shit.
Cut it out.
Cut it out. Cut it out.
There it is.
All right, well.
Joey Gladstone? Is that who?
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was a good, that was a good show.
Who is
young kids definitely know.
Also just Italian.
Excuse me, what?
Whoa. Hour 3 on the other side. Are you kidding me? Hold on, let's stick around with AJ. We just got AJ, so I don't want to leave yet. What did you just say? You said Joey Gladstone's Italian?
Yeah, I also said he's just Italian.
Oh, he's not perverted.
Yes.
Dave Coulier, right?
Yeah, Dave Coulier.
He's Italian or French? That sounds French.
Yeah, he's definitely not Italian.
He's part Italian, I heard.
You heard that?
Yeah, I heard
Where'd you hear that?
Grapevine.
Hey, Diggs, why are you? We talked about this off air, and I'm happy we're not live on Sirius for this because Sirius folks expect sports. You know what I mean?
That's right.
We would like sports talk here. You know, let's do this. But have you heard him going to bat for? I don't think he knows what he's doing at all. Each
He
day,
definitely does not know.
No, he doesn't.
You know me, big politics guy.
What's that?
You know me, big politics guy.
Well, I think though at some point I understand that the blood of the Italian horn is a thick one.
Yeah.
But you guys in the Italian creed, and I might be wrong here. I just grew up around all you, and I've watched a lot of movies. You guys are completely okay with killing other Italians. Like, hey, you disparaged the family, you disrespected everything. You guys actually will get in a car with them, sit right behind them, and invite, hey, let's go get some ice cream. Come on. And then you'll shoot them right in the head, and then we'll never see them again. They actually get buried in ditches, marshes, rivers. Now you're like, nah, the Italians run, we can't turn our back on anybody. It's like, I think a lot of people are saying you can, I think.
Listen, we feel bad about killing those people. But, you know, if you do something to affect the family, then yeah, that's what has to happen.
Will you show that headline, Foxy? The one that I saw about the Italians?
I'd say this guy did something to affect the family.
Yeah, that's
Tony.
what I
Oh,
was
sorry,
trying to say.
Nick. I don't watch C-SPAN every night.
I don't know if what he did, how he did, but I saw the headlines, and it ain't good for you.
All I saw was that one headline.
I
all
didn't
you
see the
need.
headline. I know people were calling themselves Cuomo-sexuals back in the day, and now they're showing the clips.
Well, I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure what.
They were big fans of him back, before this came out.
Oh my God, my ear just got blown out. Oh, jeez Louise, dude.
I was hoping you were falling out of that chair.
Well, it's in my back pocket, and then it hits the thing, and it turns it all the way up.
Oh.
Hey, hour 3 next hour, AJ. What are we going to talk about, dude? Anything cool?
Sounded like you had a big tease as you were going off Sirius.
Well, it was mostly about the Italian conversation because, Connor did that whole thing that he did there.
Do have the Ursay Edge. What cars you can get?
You're right. That's what we're coming back with. Rolls Royce, Bentleys, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Jim Irsay, Edgerrin James Hall of Fame. We got that and more with your phone calls on the 5-Hour Energy phone line, 1-833-4-McAfee. We'll see you in about 3 minutes. We appreciate the hell out of you. I just saw a picture of you getting out of, I think, a 757 that was from Jim Irsay. What was that, and have you ever been in that plane before?
I thought it was like the team plane to fly all of the Indianapolis Colts. Literally, I mean, it's got the logo on it, Pat, and it was awesome. But look, that's just Jim. Pat, I had a wonderful 14 years there. It's obviously the team that I wanted to play for always. I understood the decision he had to make, and no hard feelings, and for him to send his plane to fly me and my son down here, it was a great gesture. A lot of room for me and Marshall. We were throwing the football. Pretty cool experience. Pretty cool father-son weekend.
By the way, as he's moving from event to event right now, you are the best, dude. Where are you headed right now?
I'm going to the game. I got Lynch. I got Faneca. I got these guys in the background.
Boys, congratulations. Yeah. Congratulations, boys. All right, Peyton. Oh, hey, there he is. Marshall, I hope you enjoyed that plane, pal. Hey, Peyton, last thing here. You talking to Tom Brady, you becoming friends with him. It was interesting to watch. Oh, yeah, take the photo. Take the photo. All right, we will wrap this up.
Well, I'll tell you, Pat, I don't think anybody can do what Tom has done. Look, I know how hard it was for me to get on the same page with my receivers, learn a new system, learn new coaches. But I had a full off season. I was injured. I was rehabbing. The fact that Tom has done this in a COVID pandemic off season, no time to meet with his receivers. He met with his coaches illegally by breaking into Byron Leftwich's house. So besides that, it's been incredible what he's been able to accomplish, and he deserves all the credit. His leadership is what's put the Bucs in this game today, and I have great respect for him because I know how hard it is, but he deserves all the credit.
Hey, how did you know Red 18 was coming?
Pat, I mean, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you telling that story and just growing the legend. That was about the 18th time I tried it. I was over 17 going into that. And, you know, when it doesn't hit, you just keep walking and nobody ever really tells you about it. So when it hit, I was as surprised as you were. And the reaction from some of the good old folks there in the casino that night was pretty special.
Well, I appreciate you doing that. You made me and those folks in the casino a bunch of money. Congrats on the Hall of Fame nod. Thank you for spending time. Enjoy yourself at the game, Peyton.
Pat, thanks, pal. I appreciate you.
The Sheriff Hall of Famer, Peyton Manning.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. Hour 3 on this beautiful Friday, August 13th, 2021, with AJ Hawk and the Hammer Dahn Boys begins right now. Shout out to 20 for that beat drop. I think we might have a new intro.
What?
Oh.
From who?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
David Baker.
Ooh.
David Baker.
The Hall of Fame guy made a music?
Baker.
Holy shit. Morris.
King Wavy Davy. King Kotz did not.
Oh.
King Kotz tried to take our show down after forcing us to play his song on the
Hype
air.
like Aaron Rodgers.
That song's a banger.
It sounds too similar. We will get a season.
Big Trick Energy, do they do music?
Ooh.
I bet if they did, it'd be unbelievable and award
Season
winning.
finale's this week.
Is it really? I thought that show was long
There's
gone.
no chance.
That show's
about it.
over. Yeah, season 2 might be this week.
Right.
Jesus Christ. Let's get back to the show here. AJ, did you watch any of the preseason games last night? And if you did, can you tell me why I got attacked by the internet with me saying that it appears as if Mac Jones is not going to stink? That's what my big takeaway from the night was last night. Watching him, his confidence, his poise, the 2-minute, the hurry up. It seems like he made no MAs. He missed a couple throws. If he hits one to Gunner, who he is used to throwing to.
Jalen Waddle and not a cornerback from Bemidji State.
And Smith, who ran at 4.2 or something like that, if he wanted to. He overthrows him by half a yard. It's a complete different night. I fear for everybody that Mac Jones is not going to stink. I think he's going to be good, AJ Hawk.
Why are people upset by this, though?
Because Ryan Mallett, obviously 10 years ago, he had a good preseason game. I was told Joe Flacco, is he going to be a fucking MVP? That's what people were told because he threw a screen pass for a touchdown last night and looked very comfortable. It's like, no. And also, he didn't just throw checkdowns. His average distance was like 7-point-something yards or what. It's just, for me, I got attacked, I think, because of the hatred for the Patriots. And I think that is something that, on the opposite end of that, as somebody who's a Patriots fan, the way he's feeling, The complete opposite is how everybody else feels. And the way Connor feels is...
Well, I mean, a year ago, everyone was talking about the dynasty being dead forever, and here we are a year later, and holy shit, we got 15 more years of Super Bowl football. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped.
So that's where he's at, okay, and that's where New England's at. And I got a lot of check marks from the New England area retweeting that tweet, and there's a lot of massholes coming in like, yeah,
we did it. We're back.
But on the flip side, I think a lot of people thought that dynasty was dead, and we were never going to have to hear from these motherfuckers again after Tom Brady went down to Tampa and won their Super Bowl. I think that is what people thought I was implying. I'm not. I was just saying after the first preseason game, with all that you can get out of reading the first preseason game, I feel as if he's not going to stink. I think he's going to be really fucking good, actually. Now, I don't know if he's going to be great, but I think he's not going to stink, and that is a nightmare for 31 other franchises who were celebrating their demise just a little bit ago, I think.
Okay, so I understand now more why people are coming at you. It's so people are just fed up with the Patriots winning. They're saying, hey, their time is done. We don't want to watch them dominate again. Hey, who cares? Whatever. Like, get over that. But when it comes to, I would be more worried, I'd be questioning who's going to be our starting quarterback. Like, how do you feel about Cam? I know he didn't throw the ball down the field much, didn't have many opportunities, but is Cam still the guy? Obviously, we're not changing anything now, but I think you have to feel good about it if you're a Patriots. Like, hey, man, we got some guys.
Did you see
Jonnu Smith's catch too early?
Okay, Jonnu looks like a guy. I think they're going to need one more weapon if they want to keep up with the top of the AFC. I think they were allegedly in on Julio, so they might be thinking the same thing. Michael Thomas seems like he was available maybe a couple days ago, and I think New England's name got thrown out there because they do have the capability to go and make a play there. But did you hear the pop when Mac Jones came on the field? Did you see that reaction?
Didn't he have I thought I saw a clip where they like over a minute standing O.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
It was fucking banana land, dude. They were going crazy for him. And we thought maybe Boston Connor here was over-exaggerating how excited he was for Mac Jones with every day came a new story or rumor or fairy tale or folklore or tall tale about Mac Jones, and every day Connor was just eating it like Zeke at a bowl. I mean, just old Zeke at a bowl, just absolutely going in. I think all of New England's feeling that way.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've never really had like a rookie first-round quarterback come in and have like the hype and expectations around him. Because like when Tom came in, obviously 199 wasn't supposed to be the guy, and we haven't had one maybe since Ryan Mallett, if you want to throw that guy's name back out there. But that's why everyone's so pumped. You finally get a rookie quarterback. You know, you go 7-9, maybe we can turn this whole thing around, and it looks like we will.
I agree.
Well, when Tom came in too, though, the Patriots weren't the Patriots.
Yeah.
Tom made them the Patriots.
True.
Yeah, and without Tom, there's no. This was kind of like what Troy Aikman said to Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones on the Hall of Fame thing. Like, those two, I guess, have had super beef. They've been friends since college, freshman year of college, or roommates or something like that. And Troy goes, hey, listen up, Jimmy. Great hair. Okay, love the house down, the keys that you got. You beam in from it to Fox, and you do great on TV. I love you as a coach. I love you as a peer here at Fox. You wouldn't have been the coach you were without Jerry. And Jerry, by the way, just exactly the same thing there. You wouldn't have been anywhere near the owner without Jimmy. Like, hey, you two need each other. That'll obviously be the Tom, Bill Belichick thing. But you're right. That dynasty didn't start until Drew Brees took one of the hardest shots in the history of football. It took him to a hospital and then ended up retiring.
Bledsoe.
Bledsoe.
Same thing.
Drew Brees is completely okay. By the way, he had broken lungs and ribs last year. But Drew Bledsoe goes into the winery after that shot. The dynasty begins. But Mac Jones potentially coming in being the first, 14th pick? 15th pick?
15, yeah.
15th pick overall in the NFL draft after their first bad year in forever. You know, and Cam is up against it here. Cam is very lovable. I love Cam. After what he did last year, and then if he does anything wrong this year with the way they react, that is a Mac Jones town, I think, until they're deemed otherwise. Cam doesn't deserve it. Hey, Cam does not deserve it. He could have won more games last year, I guess, but he didn't have a great roster around him, so he's just kind of in the situation he's in there. But that is a Mac Jones town, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys talked about it yesterday, like the pocket presence, that type of stuff is so important. And it just clearly already Mac seems to have like a much better feel as opposed to Cam, who doesn't have a bad feel, but everybody wants to see Mac, and he can make the checks at the line with blitzes that Cam has obviously struggled with with it last night, which led to the Chase Young forced fumble.
Had to get the jitters out there on that first pass a little low. Guy caught it, and then Bill was like, "I'm out. It's fucking preseason. I'm not challenging."
Yeah.
Okay, what do we have now? We have a third down play. Cool. We'll work on a third down situation. It's kind of how Bill, who also allegedly got upset with Ron Rivera calling a timeout with 21 seconds left in preseason game. Bill Belichick going, "Okay, all right, what are we fucking doing here? All right." What were you going to say though, Diggs?
Yeah, I was agreeing with AJ and what you guys are talking about. Like, it's great. Mac, I thought, looked great last night, but you're not going to win a lot of games sitting on the bench being the backup.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying they need to start him now?
Yeah.
Well, and that was the.
What about Cam? What if Cam comes out and balls, dude?
Yeah, but when's the last time that's happened?
It has been a few years. There's a lot of injuries that have happened. He's healthier now than he's ever been, which takes me to another quarterback. Tom Brady says he feels better than he has in 14 years. Whew. Greatest of all time. Says first time I haven't worn a knee sleeve in forever. Got his knee fixed. Last year was allegedly not fun pain-wise, but Tom just powered through and they won, allegedly behind the scenes. And this is not the first time that Tom Brady has battled through something that would be very painful to go and play football. The guy loves the sport. Remember, he had a almost damn near sutured up thumb or sutured on thumb 2 days because old Rex ran into him on a handoff exchange before a playoff game. The thought was he wasn't going to play. Put a glove on, shot it up. Won, obviously. I think like that is what Tom Brady has done. Nobody talks about his durability, mostly because he falls down if anybody's around him. Like that's kind of his move. Like I'm going to get to the ground as fast as possible here. But if he was playing through as much pain as Clyde Christensen said he was last year about how uncomfortable it was, who's his quarterback coach, and now he's feeling even better. He had a good offseason, second year in the system, got his guys back. I mean, that's scary for everybody, I think.
I think it's absolutely scary. You can't see like Tom slowing. It doesn't look like Tom slowing down. Is what I'm saying. Like could be. It helps that he never was like an out of the pocket guy that's flying around. He doesn't have to count on that because guys eventually their legs will go and they'll slow down a little bit. But Tom doesn't need that, and his arm seems to be as strong as it ever has. So whatever he's figured out, he has it. He has it rolling, and he has it's his mindset. That's the biggest thing about Tom. I feel like his mindset drives everything. Like he doesn't care. He's just going to find a way. He's going to win. He's going to play through everything.
He's going to find a way to get pissed off, get a chip on his shoulder. He's going to win. He still picked 199 in his mind. And with a quarterback coach like Clyde telling him, Niners picked Josh Rosen over you. And other places like that, he will continue to be motivated. Now he's healthy. We all know about the TB12 and pliability. It looks like he's going to be able to play. And while we were chit-chatting there about him never really being a guy that flies around, so his durability, he's able to last longer than some of the guys that maybe take more shots outside of the pocket, which is an added bonus to the game. It's not a drawback, but you're jeopardizing long-term stuff. Whenever you're playing like that, you're adding a different dynamic. I'm not trying to slight the out-of-the-pocket mobile quarterback, athlete quarterback. I love it. I think it's a big part of the game. But I wonder, just alongside everybody else, especially with the Mac Jones conversation going to San Francisco over the potential Trey Lance or Justin Fields or somebody that can move, we wonder, like, is the pocket quarterback, I don't know if you ever did, AJ, you're much smarter than I in the football world, is the pocket quarterback potentially dead with this, the pocket passer potentially dead with the way the offense is, with RPOs, with the way the rules are? Offensive linemen are basically allowed to be down the field if you're doing some stuff, which is a massive advantage. You got to use every single square inch of the field. You can do that now if your quarterback can move. It adds a lot of things. Why would you get a quarterback that couldn't move nowadays with the way the offense is? The pocket passer will survive forever, huh?
Yep.
Because there's a proven success. You have to have a line, obviously, because you have to have a pocket when you have a pocket passer. But there will always be a place for somebody that can just stand in there and throw it, even though those jobs are probably going to become much smaller in the coming future, right, AJ?
Well, yeah, and think of where they're getting those quarterbacks from. They're all coming from college, running these spread offenses, and they're in the gun, and they have to have these RPOs. So you're having more like athletic guys playing quarterback, I think, early on. Like, I don't think it's going to turn to where everybody is like Lamar Jackson type quarterback where they're so athletic and they run for so many yards. But it definitely will be. I mean, Mahomes is pretty much a pocket guy, but he can move. He's deceptively fast. His pocket savvy is unbelievable, and he can backpedal, like you say, and throw it a million miles. But yeah, I think a hybrid seems like the best of both. Like Aaron is absolutely a pocket guy. He can be that guy, but he's so athletic and so quick, and does have that pocket presence though to just slide and move in the pocket.
Well, Aaron also, and I think that is why Patrick Mahomes and Aaron are always, same commercials, same conversations, same everything basically, because Aaron has his own, that hybrid slot is very much, like Aaron owns that in the history of football. That is, and the thing about it is, he has that ability to move, just like Patrick Mahomes does. And Patrick Mahomes said that he did this in the Super Bowl and he needs to work on it. But Aaron somehow avoids the temptation. Whenever things are crashing down, he still is like, all right, pocket passer, pocket passer, pocket passer. And then it's like, all right, now I have to make a move or whatever. There was a lot of plays last year even where that pocket is all the way on him. And he's just sitting in there delivering it when he could have just skirted out. Everybody remembers the play before the field goal. Like, he was looking to pass, but he has that ability to move. Patrick Mahomes, very similar thing. But I just thought that there was a chance if you couldn't move, if you couldn't be a hybrid, if you couldn't be the all-out best athlete on the field quarterback like Lamar Jackson is. Kyler Murray has a little bit of that. He's going to continue to hopefully get better and better at that whole thing. I just thought you had to move. And that's why Mac Jones had to have a second pro day, actually, because they wanted him off-balance throws and moving. So I thought that was like a very common narrative. And then watching, like Tom, that would then mean that I would have to be saying like, oh, well, then Tom's not going to be able to keep up with this league for 4 or 5 years. And it's like, if they protect him, he'll be able to do whatever he wants forever. There'll always be a place for that. And I think people were trying to tell me that whenever I was being a bit dramatic maybe about that whole thing. I would want a guy that can move personally, but there's definitely a way to win. If Mac Jones can't move, which who knows if he can or not. I mean, they said he's much more athletic than you think and all that.
Ran a 4.63.
But him and Cam, vastly different, obviously. Yeah. But if he can sit in there with McDaniels, with that offense, with the reads too, if they're running the same one that Edelman was able to eat off of, and Mac and the wide receiver can be on the exact same page, and the photographic memory can tell him exactly what's going on. I mean, there's a chance that offense is going to be going. I mean, there's a chance, especially if everybody thinks that McDaniels is the heir and Steve Belichick is the heir, and then Matt Patricia's the GM heir. It's like they'll be able to keep that in system forever. They just got to hope that there's success, and it appears as if there's definitely a chance that could happen.
Well, and him coming from Sarkisian's offense doesn't hurt either, because that was, the NFL prototypical, a lot of motion, the RPOs and all that. But even if you look at a lot of these quarterbacks that have been drafted, like Burrow's definitely a pocket guy, can still move. Herbert obviously can move. I mean, there are a few. It's almost like a lot of the dudes, because of how the offenses in college are with the spread, no matter what, they have to kind of have a little bit of.
Mac, though, did not. That Alabama offense was him sitting there.
Yeah.
And it was 7-on-7, basically.
Yeah, because when they would run the ball with Najee, he would go, and then when they wouldn't, he would be able to just hit Devontae Smith wide open down the middle.
He was sitting in full perfect form. I saw him a lot, and he was just not moving. Everybody else, though, does have to move. AJ, you were going to say something. I'm sorry, what was it?
Oh, I mean, I think to be like successful quarterback for like a long time, to have a long career, you can't be like a run first guy where the things break down. And wasn't it Mitch? They were trying to get Mitch to stay in the pocket longer. He wasn't trusting, and then all of a sudden you want to use your athletic ability and get out, when if you just need to hang a beat longer for something to open. I think if it's guys that are passers first and they have the athletic ability and they can beat you with their legs, like that's what you want, not a guy that his first instinct is, oh, let's tuck this thing and run because I'm more athletic and I can beat everybody.
Now, unless you're Lamar Jackson. Okay, if you're Lamar Jackson.
That's the thing. Like, there's a few outliers. He's an absolute outlier because I'm like, okay, can you move like Lamar? Can you throw like Lamar? Do you have his mindset? Okay, then don't. He's different.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson's an alien.
Jumps over jet skis or runs into him on the beat. Like, he just does everything.
Hey, Moss, a couple guys in flip-flops. I mean, he's great. Like, him hitting that guy with that stutter step spin move and falling, it's like that.
He dumped his pants, came back and led him to victory.
Yeah, how about that?
That is awesome. But to your point, Josh Allen, he was moving a lot. He got better at passing. Baker Mayfield, he was moving a lot early. He got better in the pocket. Patrick Mahomes still. I was getting out of the pocket more. It seems like although the narrative is very much like, hey, out of pocket, got to be able to make these off-balance throws, got to be able to move, got to be able to extend plays. I think that is all accurate. I think that is all 100% accurate. But when you listen to these quarterbacks talk, they all say, I got to get better in here. Like, this is where I got to get better.
You got to be accurate. You got to be an accurate passer, like a consistently accurate guy, no matter what your athletic ability is.
Did you see Dewey Haskins last night? Hey, slinging it.
Speaking of 15 overall picks.
How do you feel about Dewey Haskins as a Pittsburgh Steelers
I
fan?
think he was, 16 of 22 for like 170, led 3 touchdown drives. I don't know. Is that good?
You tell me if that's what you want out of your quarterback for a football team. What did Mason do?
Mason was 8 of 9 for like 70 something.
Dyson.
He
almost got Najee.
He did
killed.
almost get Najee killed, which did piss me off pretty bad.
You weren't happy? Pretty bad.
It was classic Mason where he dropped back and when he
bit.
doesn't know where to go, like when things don't open up for him, he panics. And then he stared at Najee for about, 3 to 4 seconds, said, hey, I'm going to throw this ball to this guy in like 3 seconds. Everyone run as fast as you can at him. And then when he threw it to him.
So he pointed at him.
Yeah, pretty
and then
much.
threw the ball to him.
Going there.
That's awesome.
But he did have, Mason will make a nice throw every once in a while, but then he'll do some shit that just.
My completion in the NFL, I did stare down my receiver, so I don't want to judge them for that. But it does feel as if quarterbacks that are good in the NFL have an ability to disguise where they're headed. It is eye manipulation is a huge part of being a quarterback. And Mason, if you're saying that it was a problem last night, even though he went 8 of 9, almost killed a guy, Mason doesn't move, right? That guy can't move.
No, Mason cannot move.
Does Dewey run?
A little bit.
He can.
Not really. I mean, he can, but yeah, that's not his thing.
Yeah, he's a slinger, right?
Mac Jones probably ran a better 40 time than he did.
His first touchdown pass last night, though, he broke out of the pocket on the run, put one in the back of the end zone. Like he can maneuver through the pocket well enough to scramble and throw.
He can extend the play.
Yes,
That's Ben
bingo.
Roethlisberger, by the way, just classic extending the play. Is Pittsburgh excited for Dwayne Haskins mostly because you hate Mason Rudolph, or because you think this guy actually?
I don't think that first part hurts Dwayne, but he has everything that everyone's tweeting out, like who's been at camp and stuff like that, says he's looked good. So it's both things combined.
Jalen Hurts last night also big time, spotlight on what the Eagles are going to look like this year. Sirianni talked to the media before the game about the game, and his thoughts were this.
Well, Jalen's going to go out there and he's going to break down the defenses as complex as they may be. He's going to do it very simply and very efficiently, because I've been talking to him all week about the minor, small details, and that's how we're going to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're going to win this football game, and Jalen's going to look good during this football game.
Sirianni actually said, we'll win this game or I'll quit, I think he said, right? Isn't that what he said?
I've considered it, but once again, we didn't get to implement the Kobayashi element for tonight's game because just things were not ready. COVID has ran rampant on us in that regard, but we will get that implemented. Those little things, those little small details that we love, we're going to get those ready to go before the next game, and we will win our next football game. I guarantee you can mark that down.
Wow. So thanks, Coach.
Coach, can I ask you a question?
All right, here we go. Yep, it's a press conference. This is a press conference. Yeah.
Coach, what do you think your record's going to be this year?
Well, again, it depends on those things we're trying to do, those small, minor details. And a lot of that comes back to Jalen's play. He's a competitor. He loves playing rock, paper, scissors with me in the meeting rooms. He does pretty well. I think he's won about 64% of those games right now. If I had to guess, our division is, it's NFC East Smash Mouth football. So I don't know if I had to guess. So I would be very, very happy if we won at least 4 games this year.
Ton digs.
Coach, you being a first-year coach, Mike Tomlin's been in the league a long time, very successful. Did you talk to him pregame? Did you learn anything from Mike last night?
Not really. Tomlin kind of clowned me before the game because I think he saw some of my previous press conferences, and I didn't get any FaceTime with him, but I did hear someone say, this guy is a fucking stooge. So I figured that he didn't want to talk to me. I don't know. I had a football game I need to get ready to coach.
Thanks, Coach. AJ, this is so
Wait, what, are you over here?
No. Somebody called him a stooge, but you said this is so rude. You're the first one to ask the question. You're the first member of the press.
I didn't know where it was going.
I'm sure you did. Anyways, let's get to Jalen, though. Jalen, there was a ball to Goddard.
Yeah.
Goddard out to the right seemed to be like maybe
like a little banana route.
Yeah, it seemed like it. It's almost like a post, but out.
Spider too high.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But fuck it. The dude ran a route. He was pretty well covered. And Jalen threw an absolute seed. It was a rope It was a seed. It was right in a spot. The only spot it could have been led him. He could still run. It was a perfect ball. And I didn't get a chance to really see a lot of the game because I only got to see one of the games here in Indiana on NFL Network, which is it's 2021. Fucking A, can I not watch the goddamn game? Come on. All right, $113 billion was just sent in. I can't find the Steelers-Eagles game. And I don't know why I wanted to watch it, probably because the punting competition happening in Pittsburgh. But Jalen, I think, looked very, very good in some aspects. Missed that one ball down to the left. There was a drop that affected an entire drive that would have changed everything. But I think Jalen looked very good as well last night. So if you're an Eagles fan, there's probably not a lot to celebrate with the entire roster, especially a statue was built just a couple years ago. But maybe things are going here.
No, as someone who in the past has not been a Jalen fan, I thought he did, like he threw some good balls last night. Even the deep ball that he missed to the left, I don't even know if that was on him or the wide receiver. But no, I was kind of impressed by Jalen.
Okay, so I'm looking at the stats. I didn't get to watch the whole game here. Jalen Hurts, 3 of 7 for 54 yards. Joe Flacco, 10 of 17, 178 yards, 1 TD, 79 yards of that screen. Okay, I get it. And that was the one touchdown. But that's still 99 yards, right? If you do the math, 178 minus 79, I think is how long it was. So 99 yards against Hurts is 54 yards, 17 attempts versus 7 attempts. Why is Flacco getting all this extra work instead of Jalen Hurts, AJ? Is it because footsteps Flacco is potentially going to be...
Well, yeah, they got to keep him fresh because you never know when you're going to need the footsteps to come in and save the day. But Hurts only had 2 series, I think, so he only.
So does that mean he's definitely the starter?
Feels like
right?
it.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, doesn't it?
His relationship with Devontae as well. Like if Devontae Smith's out there on the left side where he barely overthrew that dude for the 95-yard touchdown, you know, he might catch that and take it
missed him inside too, I think, on that particular one. But I don't think the wide receiver stacked the corner, which is another full conversation to be had on was it the quarterback's fault or wide receiver's fault? And if we had Orshlovsky or Trent Dilfer, well, where he threw the ball is where the son of it should have been. That seems to always be the way, which, by the way, might be right. Who knows? But I think in real life, it's not as easy as just, stack the guy who runs a 4-2. You should be able to do that, and then we'll be able to put the ball out there. But I'm pumped for preseason football. Dan Campbell, MCDC, debuts tonight. There's no way the Lions lose, AJ Hawk.
I actually saw you guys talking about this. It does seem to make sense, right? Like the Lions should win 95-0 tonight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Boom.
100%.
How much is Goff playing? Do we know?
I want to say
4.
starters were the first half.
All 4 quarters for Goff,
No,
I think.
in all honesty, I thought I saw a quarter. I could be wrong, Foxy.
It was a quarter first half. I saw it like a couple days ago.
I want to see Goff. Like I'm excited to watch the Lions offense play.
I'll tell you what, man.
I'm excited to see him too. This kind of stuff just makes my blood boil, man.
Hey, what about game day? First time as a head coach for the Lions. I guess you were an interim head coach for the Dolphins, but now that you've become the mascot for all of Detroit, was there a different order of coffee this morning with the first game on the horizon?
Absolutely not, man. Same thing. Big venti. Need the venti. And then again, two black eyes in each of them. Douche. Need to have it, man. I'm ready to go.
Hey, coach.
Well, it's game day, man.
Did you watch anything last night to kind of get your head, right into the right space or no?
No, I actually just went out back to my patio and slammed my head against the concrete wall for about 16 hours, man. Gotta get ready. It's football, man. I love it.
I don't have any questions.
I heard you say, hey, coach. I heard it.
Go ahead. I thought I had a question. I do not.
All right, let's get to the 5-hour energy phone lines. Good luck to the Lions tonight. Obviously, we're betting on the Lions. We love Bills Mafia, but this game doesn't count. All right? Nope. It only counts for one person, one city, one team, and that is MCDC Detroit Lions.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Preseason team in football.
You're right.
0-16. They went 4-0 in the preseason that season.
Amen.
People forget.
Actually, Paul, the Ravens haven't lost in 17 preseason games all the way back to 2015.
Gumpy there with an incredible stat. Nuke. That was unbelievable. That is a little nuke. That is a Gumpy nuke right there. I think I saw that going around the internet, so Nick saw the same tweet that I probably saw. Sorry, Gumpy saw.
That's unbelievable. Like that's more impressive than Cal Ripken's streak, probably.
Hell yeah.
How do you win that many preseason games in a row?
Do you think they have how in baseball games they count the amount of Ks, the strikeouts somewhere?
Yep.
Do you think in Baltimore they have just like a what are those things called?
Like a hash mark.
Tally on how many preseason games straight. And do you think Harbaugh pointed at that last night and said, hey, let's go get fucking 17. Let's go get 18. Do you think he's doing that? Do you think he is? Because
absolutely.
That's really impressive, I think, actually.
I mean, I don't know if it's just weird. Like I don't know how it happens. Like I'm sure you know. Like it's a lot of players don't know what the score was at the end of a preseason game.
I could not tell you how many preseason games we won or lost. I can tell you how many times I did a front flip in slow motion on HBO, though, and that was once when the Bengals were on Hard Knocks and I got a punt blocked. And what I'm saying there is that's the worst moment of preseason history for me, and I made sure I didn't do that again. We're trying to get through there. But they must focus on the details more than everybody else, because the details are what lose your preseason games, because a lot of guys have no idea what coverage they're in. A lot of guys have no idea what special teams units they're on.
Harbaugh's a special teams guy, so you know he's like, hey, all these other teams got substitution errors, all the stuff that the Giants had to run for at practice, like not having enough guys on field goal. He's like, that will not happen here.
And that's going to win us every one of these fucking preseason games. Now, when it's an entirely different team we have wearing our uniforms on the football field when the regular season starts, we're going to try to carry over this win streak. But what we're saying is the details, we're all battered around here.
Well, and also don't forget they've had great backup. Tyrod, boom, Bob Triplesticks.
What?
Ozzie Newsom's a great drafter.
What?
Trace McSorley.
Jimmy's famous.
What? Seafood.
Super spreader events.
What?
Are they still doing it?
I don't know. I haven't heard from them in a while. Hope they're all right.
Maybe Troy Smith was there.
Troy Smith.
What? Flacco.
What? Starter.
Yeah.
Let's go to the 500 front
But
lines.
they'd be up 30-0 by the time you come out of the first quarter.
Yeah, you're right. I understand. And that continued last night for the Eagles with Joe Flacco. What's his record in preseason?
26-0.
Maybe, right? Because he's carried that over.
Lost last night.
Oh, yeah. One.
Before last
He didn't start, though.
Yeah.
Nah, true.
So,
Doesn't count.
Yeah.
just like old buddy got a win last night for the White Sox.
Yeah, Hendricks.
Yeah, he got a win whenever they gave up the lead, but then got it back. Is it because he didn't give up the lead?
No, he gave up the lead. It's because he was the last pitcher in the game, and then they won in the bottom of the ninth, so he gets the win.
The guy, the closer?
Yeah, who gave up 4 runs in the ninth? Yeah, he gets the win because he blew a save, and then
Is a blown save? He still has the blown save. So
Yeah.
So he'll have 7 blown saves on the year. I think he had 6 going into the night. Joe Buck was pointing that out as it seemed to be unraveling.
Right.
And which great commentating, by the way. I don't know why nobody. So he has 7 blown saves, but he gets a dub.
Yeah.
So he's the only pitcher to ever win in the middle of Iowa, and he potentially had the worst half inning out of anybody.
For sure. Yeah.
Congrats to him, dude. That's winning again.
Hendricks!
And he had an interview, right?
Yeah. About 2 innings before that.
With who? Tim Kirchin?
No, it was with Joe Buck.
Bummer.
We need more corn content, by the way. They did an entire corn piece with that guy wearing the bow tie thing, talking about how there's some tough winds that were blowing down these stalks. They were knee high by the 4th of July, but then old Mother Nature said, let me blow some of them down. So they had to actually put up beams to hold all of the corn up so that they could get that beautiful outfield that we saw on TV last night.
Good move. Yeah, they need a couple D-Rogers to go out there through the fields and get rid of some of them tall stalks.
I didn't like how they used fake hay.
Really?
Yeah, there's a couple ones in that, like the pitchers. What do you call that? The
bullpen?
The bullpen. Yeah, they had a fake hay there. I was so mad.
Fake hay?
Fake hay?
Yeah, it was like basically just like posters in front of boxes.
No.
Yeah. I don't want to take anything away from FOD.
Nah.
I'm not taking anything away.
Pull it up. There's
You got it. I'm putting it up right now.
Hey, did they not market this game?
Who gives a
Oh,
shit?
no, they did.
Yeah, they did.
No, they did. We did too, man.
I didn't see. I know, but like I feel like I didn't. They should have.
Guy Fieri.
Everybody should have known about this.
Bro, Guy Fieri was on every morning show talking about his apple pie hot dog, dude.
We had
What morning
Joe
show?
Buck
Hoda
on this
Khattab?
He was on that. He was also on, I think it's just
Good Morning America.
Good Morning This Morning, too. CBS This Morning.
Yep.
Good Morning America.
Today Show.
The Today Show. What? Jimmy
Seacrest
Fallon.
and Kelly.
I think he was on with Ryan and Kelly. Yeah, I think. Yeah, so Guy Fieri was almost like hired by Manfred to maybe promote this, and he's having that donkey sauce apple pie hot dog thing. That's basically the most marketing I think he got. I don't know if.
Bad choice.
I don't know how the MLB.
Come on.
That's a terrible choice.
Look, Guy
What do you
Fieri
want,
posts.
Mario Batali?
I don't know. Did the MLB know it was going to be a smash? They knew.
Yeah, I would assume so.
How come it wasn't just like a full-out marketing press? you
Well,
think?
if Guy Fieri posts one time on his Instagram, you know he's going to make the whole thing famous. So it's not like he needed to do that much.
He did tell me that.
Gonna make the whole thing famous.
Make the whole thing.
The whole thing.
All of Iowa.
Uh-huh.
Make the whole thing famous.
Put it on the map. Thank you, Guy.
They should have been pressing that hard. And if they did have the fake hay, Zito just looked it up.
Can't find it right now.
Easy, pal.
They edit it all. They document all the footage.
Yeah, smart. So guys like you couldn't find it. People that were looking for the little intricacies that are really making this show
They made
tick.
me mad. They're in Iowa. John Deere's there. I don't know.
Yeah, and they could. All they had to do was take the tractor another round, another round, another round. And he takes the tractor another round, another round. He said, I never complain, I never ask why. Please don't let my dreams run dry. Underneath this Amarillo sky. Thought about that a lot last night. You know, as I was watching that corn blow in the wind and the fireworks were going and baseballs were getting hit in the corn. You know, because rain makes corn. And corn makes whiskey. Whiskey makes my baby feel frisky. That's all I was thinking last night was, you know what, this is beautiful. Mm-hmm. This is America coming together with America's pastime.
But you tweeted about how you hated the game.
Well, I was getting a little tired. Hold on. I was getting a little snoozy there, and I watched from 7th inning on, everything changed.
I mean, it was a dream, like a dream game for them, for Fox.
Yeah, it was like a playoff atmosphere, you know, in the middle of summer. Here, you know, it's not October, but it felt like it maybe for a little bit. Yeah, true. I mean, especially and it was the middle of Iowa when that gangster from Montana that changed Tone Diggs completely into what Tone Diggs has become does a 3-inning interview and. Yeah. You know, it really makes you feel like this is awesome. You know, this is what I want to watch. I'm not falling asleep at all. Okay, is Mac Jones potentially slicing and dicing over there? Yeah. I'm going to go over there. But then whenever I came back, 7th inning, I was wrong. And I put out numerous follow-up tweets. And that's what Twitter is, by the way. You put out a tweet in the time that you're in. That's why the algorithm's kind of fucked up that they save it for later. It's like, whoa, we're at a much different time now. This is like a Pawn Stars thing. Okay? Yeah. 7th inning, it was awesome. 8th inning, amazing. 9th inning, spectacular. Somebody tweeted me and said that 9th inning will be better than any fourth quarter in the NFL this season. That person's a fucking idiot, but it was awesome. That was maybe the best I've ever seen baseball.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. But I mean, you are right. You know, the innings, I don't know what, 5 through like 8 there. I mean, we didn't have any offense, but started out with a lot of homers. I mean, if getting 8 homers in this game was like, you know, dream scenario. There's no way they could have anticipated it did as well as it did.
The guy that got the dub, he does this whenever he's looking at the catcher.
He was in before that guy. That was Kimbrel.
Okay, so this is Kimbrel.
Yeah,
beast.
Oh,
too soon.
This is awesome. It's like a cobra.
Yeah.
You know, is that what he's trying to do? Make
I
himself.
mean, if Fox was smart, they would have snuck in the juiced balls for him for this game.
They didn't need him. The corn sweat was making ball fly
I'll tell you
far.
what, man. I'll tell you what, man.
So, hey, Pat, you saying that Kevin Costner just wasn't bringing the juice?
It was terrible. It was the worst interview I've ever heard in my entire life. He said a couple things that were good.
The Garrett Cole interview before that might have been worse.
Kevin Costner buried Joe Buck.
Yeah.
I mean, so that was a little bit of electrifying.
Read the room.
But it was just reading the internet, I guess, reading the internet. But he said a couple things in there that were good. I was like, but 3 innings of this? I went back and back and back. And I was like, okay, all right.
here.
And back, it was just like, I get it. Field of Dreams. He walked through there. He did great speeches. It was very motivating. He gave credit to the writers and everything like that. Obviously, he's a great thespian. Okay, I'm a big fan of Kevin Costner, the gangster in Montana, the baseball guy in Bull Durham, the golfer in Tin Cup. I'm a big
Waterworld.
Who?
Oh, yeah, Waterworld.
Yeah, I ain't never seen that, but I'm a fan. All right, I'm a fan of Kevin Costner. I just didn't think, 3 innings,
He was
is the
a
equivalent
killer
of,
with Ashton Kutcher in that one movie.
Oh, Guardian.
Mr. Brooks.
Guardian.
yeah.
Oh, and Mr. Brooks. Yeah,
Dane
I'm
Cook.
a big.
My bad, Dane Cook.
Yeah, that's
I know who you're
Mr.
talking
Brooks.
about.
I've watched that movie like 10 times because it was the only one that was on this one plane we flew every single season. So that was weird. I mean, what a wild life there. He's got range. Okay, he can be a drunk pitcher. He can be a drunk golfer. He can be a motivator. He can be a goddamn murderer. Okay, I get it. Kevin Costner, incredible thespian out there. But 3 innings is the equivalent of 5 hours, and that's what it felt like whenever he was in there. And I think they kind of set him up for failure. But aside from that, a little bit of a snooze out there. But that thing ended perfectly, I think.
Yeah, it was an electric finish.
Started well, ended well.
Let's go to 1 5-Hour Energy phone line call here before I have to bounce out and hit the road to Tulsa. Go to 5hourenergy.com. That's the number 5, then hourenergy.com. Use promo code McAfee, and you'll receive 10% off your order, AJ.
Oh, and they have the official summer flavors out now, right?
Oh, the original, yeah, and the official, yeah. It's only valid through September 30th.
Oh no, I better get there.
Yeah, get your shots.
Smart.
The official energy shot of the Pat McAfee Show and the title sponsor for the electric phone lines that we will head to right now. Zach in Arizona, what's going on, pal?
Pat and the boys, let's fucking go.
Let's go.
Okay. First, I'd like to shout out my dad. Only Colts fan out here in Arizona that I know. But is Evan Foxy in the house?
What's up, man?
Hey, so I just had a question for you. You turned your back on the Pack last season. Do you think the fan base even wants you in the Lions?
Good question.
Pride, I think. He said he turned your back on the Pride, right? Is what he meant.
that's what he said. Yeah.
He said the Pack, but the Pack of Lions. You did turn your back and became a Steelers fan. Is everything all right?
Everything's fine, all right. When you're a Lions fan, you know you got about 6 or 7 weeks of football, and that's it. And that's why I'm so juiced for this preseason game tonight. So when the Lions, are out of playoff contention and can't go 10-7 and win a playoff game, sometimes I got to look around and I got to say, hey, how do I extend this football season? And sometimes you got to see a team that's undefeated
and ruin them. Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, the Lions fans, I think they have appreciated Foxy because Foxy's the only Lions fan that has a microphone.
Yep.
I don't think there's a Jalen.
Yeah.
Jalen, but he talks basketball mostly. I'm not sure he's really. Foxy is the only Lions fan that is outside of Detroit that speaks into a microphone.
Bob Ritchie does a lot.
Okay.
AJ.
Oh, yeah.
Huge Lions fan.
Foxy and Bob, then, is what
Lives
you're
in
saying.
Nashville, too. So.
One and the same.
Yeah. Print the shirts.
I just want you to be accurate. I don't want you to, leave people out.
Kid Fox.
AJ.
Kid
It
Fox.
is amazing, by the way, that your brain can just that smoothly.
What do you mean?
Easily,
I played there every year.
Yeah,
You're just waiting for the Lions.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about it from a sports standpoint. So I think they appreciate Foxy. And this is a whole new Lions, by the way. You guys got a new mascot. You guys are off and running.
Yeah.
Before we get to a break, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the coolest billionaire walking this planet, okay? There's a lot of stories told about a lot of billionaires. And not enough of them are good and told about Jim Irsay. Jim Irsay, owner of the Indianapolis Colts, has obviously had a hell of a life. It has been documented. He is friends with rock stars. He has gone through stages of his life, I think, that he does not necessarily look back upon and be like, hey, those were good decisions. But what he has become, where he is at, in the human that I got to know behind the scenes whenever I was playing for the Colts, this guy deserves a lot more fucking credit and respect than the billionaire who's cool conversation.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
While all these other billionaires are trying to get to space, let me tell you what Jim Irsay's doing. He's buying guitars, pianos, hosting parties, building ice skating arenas for his grandkids, donating to every foundation, and riding in the back of drop tops with 28s on them alongside Edge and James as he goes into the Hall of Fame, and cutting a promo for him and saying something that is cooler than any other billionaire has ever said to one of their players or humans they've ever worked with.
I'm getting you a car, whatever car you want.
Oh, don't tell me.
Anything you want. I don't care what you want, a Ferrari, a Lamborghini. You tell me what's happening.
This is just casual. Edge is like, shit, let's get this on film.
You know that, man. You pick it out. Edge is getting a Hall of Fame car. He's got to decide whether it's a Rolls Royce or a Bentley or a Lamborghini, but he's going to be rolling in style, that's for sure. And I'm even going to put something in the glove compartment as a surprise.
Okay, so is that a shit ton of money?
Yeah.
And I think he was just bullshitting with Edge as he's rolling through there, and the Colts probably just had that camera on at all times, like, hey, we'll just catch whatever's good. And then Edge goes, well, you're getting me let's get this on. Okay, this is really awesome. And Jim immediately goes into promo, just starts cutting a promo into the camera. Fucking awesome. I hope Edge gets a Rolls Royce, by the way. I think that is, I didn't know that. I assume Edge didn't know that was on the table until Jim said a Rolls Royce. Edge will make the right decision. Jim Irsay just deserves a little bit more, hey, that's a cool fucking guy. You know what I mean, AJ?
I mean, absolutely. And other owners are probably like, come on, man, you're killing me. Now, if we have Hall of Famers, they expect a a loaded Winnebago from me or something.
Well, the Fords won't even give Calvin Johnson his money back. So
Yeah, well, he's got to do 28 hours
Oh my
of Detroit
God.
Lions service, and you will be able to get that money back, even though you're a Hall of Famer and you're representing Detroit in the Hall of Fame, which I don't know how often that's going to happen. You give us 28 good hours of work, fucking give you your money back. That's very nice of Detroit. Hey, good for Detroit.
There we go.
Worst franchise in sports. Hey, Jim Irsay gave Andrew Luck $25 million whenever he retired 8 days before the season started. He said, just keep it, dude. Whatever. Jim Irsay gave me a 6-figure bonus for something that I did not necessarily complete. I got voted into the Pro Bowl, didn't play in the Pro Bowl. I guess playing in the Pro Bowl was a part of it because of the spectacle the NFL asked, that whole thing. So he didn't have to give me a bonus. Oh, brother, here, and just gave me even more, I think. I mean, he is just, he's the man. He's awesome, and not enough good things are said about him. I'm happy we can continue to do so, and hopefully the Colts social media will continue to spotlight him. I got to get to a break. I got to get the hell out of here. The boys and AJ will finish this thing off on this beautiful Friday the 13th. Foxy has a new vlog giving something away.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Let me look at how many likes are on there, on right now. Let me, on the YouTube. So there's 1,800 likes. If that thing gets to 4,000, okay, by the time this show ends. Let's go. We will quadruple what Foxy's giving away in the vlog. All right, so that'll happen. Thanks to Sirius, Chris Mad Dog Russo, Mad Dog Unleashed on the other side. Have a great weekend. AJ and the boys got you for the last 20 minutes or so. I'll see you tonight in Tulsa, Oklahoma for Smack Dahn. And then we have Jason's bachelor birthday weekend. Have a good one. I'll see you on the other side. Cheers.
Did you hear everything that was being said whenever you were potentially...
Just from you.
Oh, so you did hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
let's address it.
Hold on. All right.
You can be a hater.
No!
And
Carson.
you can change.
Carson.
You can change. We can change.
No, at the moment I was at, okay, Carson. You know, with the Daily Show, the live Daily Show, you know, we can potentially get referred to as prisoners of the moment. You probably did hear me say some things. That was at a much different time.
Backtrack with it.
No!
It's cool. We're here face to face. You can change. People change, all right?
By the way, you are much bigger than I thought you were. When Jalen gets drafted there, was that the beginning of it all? Was there a miscommunication? What happened between you and Doug? Because they were saying it was fractured beyond repair. Yeah. What happened there? Is all of that accurate? Is that all kind of getting blown out of proportion?
Yeah.
And where did it start?
For one, I don't like to ever come out and say reporters aren't telling the truth because I don't. But
Orlovsky does it.
I'm not. I'm not going to dispute every report that's out there. You know, the way the season went obviously wasn't ideal. When Jalen was drafted, that had no bearing on me. I trusted the organization. I signed that contract. You know, I was devoted to them, and I felt like they were devoted to me. So I trusted the pick. You know, that had no bearing on my confidence or my abilities. You know, the season unfolded not how I would have liked it. Personally, I could have played better. We lost a lot of games at the end and just didn't fall into place the way we wanted. But there's a lot to learn from it, you know, as a man, as a player, and all those things. And, you know, I have still a lot of respect for Coach Peterson, and I think without a doubt those reports are very exaggerated. Like I said, I don't hear a lot of them. They come to my attention from my agents or different things.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of respect for him, and it was unfortunate for everybody and how the whole thing kind of just went down.
There was a couple still shots that made its way around where you and Doug Peterson appeared to be giving each other a nasty look.
I saw those.
It's not true.
Not true at all.
Oh, you were not saying, I wish you died.
I don't even think I was looking at him in those shots. So I did see that. I'm like, of course, they're going to play this one up. They're gonna make a story out of anything. That's how it is. So, but yeah, that's not true at all.
Okay, so I'm happy to hear you weren't giving Doug Peterson death looks. Like you never thought like, oh, football isn't for me. Like there was never a thought where I don't like football anymore. I don't want to be in this bullshit league anymore with this business. There was never a thought like that.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. The way the season went, I mean, it was frustrating. And
People
so
have those
that's why I stepped away, and it almost rejuvenated me. You know, it's almost like last year pissed me off so much. I want to come back in a different way and do everything I can. I am thrilled to be here and to have this new start, new opportunity. And community seems amazing. Fan base seems amazing. Like we said, it seems like the perfect fit.
giving the old white guys something to complain about. It's the Pat McAfee Show.
Welcome back to the Pat. Am I on?
Yeah, you're on.
Yeah, you're good.
There's no music.
No
so I don't
music,
know.
yeah.
Threw me off.
Yep.
Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show. I am Tone Diggs.
Tom, there it is.
There's the music.
There it is.
Good drop.
Pat is on his way to Tulsa, Oklahoma.
That's right.
For Smack Dahn. All the boys are here. AJ Hawk's on the line. Hi, AJ. How are you?
What's happening, Diggs? How you doing? You all right with your this whole Cuomo talk? Seems to kind of have you on tilt lately.
I cannot be put down by any of your bullshit rumors right now, AJ. Joe Schobert is a Pittsburgh Steeler, and that's all I care about, okay?
Congratulations, son.
Hey, Joe Schobert's a tackling machine. I think that can cover as well. So I thought it was an interesting move for the Jags to move on from. They obviously feel good about who's going to replace him. I know he was splitting time, but yeah, I think that's a good signing for the Steelers.
I heard personally that he showed up the strength coach in Jacksonville, and they had to get him out of there.
Oh, I thought he put his helmet through Tebow's chest, and they were just like, hey, look, we need Tebow this year. Get the hell out of here, Joe.
You're going to have to get to the bottom of that and then maybe text me on the side about that, okay, AJ?
Yeah, what, about why he got traded? I mean, I can promise you he did not take Schlegs on. He didn't win if he did.
We got like 5 minutes left. We got 4 phone calls. I'm just going to roll through those. Big John Stoner, what do you got? He's got nothing.
Stoner.
Stones. Stonesy. He's not there.
Classic Stoner.
He said, are the Bears going to go with Justin Fields, though? What do you think, Gage?
What do you mean, to start the season?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not to start the season, but probably early on at some point. Maybe they'll throw him in. Maybe they'll have a package for him. You think they'll have some kind of package early to see?
Probably.
Have to.
I mean, he's the guy that's going to save Nagy's job, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, this question is, how long do you wait? How does Andy play? Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a weird, because don't they keep saying like Andy's our guy?
Yes.
Yeah. It's kind of the same with New England. It really just depends upon how, the Dalton
preseason goes
Newton.
too. Like, let's see how. Like, wasn't it? Remember when Dak came in the preseason was just lighting it up?
Yep.
Yep. Same with Russell Wilson.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, I guess.
Hey, speaking of that situation, Jordan from North Carolina, what do you got?
Hey, what's up, guys? It's another Baker Mayfield and Star Restoration of Foxborough. So do you guys think the fans will push Cam Newton out if or when he does play bad? And since we beat COVID, you will hear if you are playing bad. And what's the yens, bro? I have a friend from PA. Shout out to James Reese.
Shout out Jim Reese.
We were talking about earlier today. Cam's going to get booed early.
Yeah, if he doesn't do well, he will get eviscerated. People do like Cam, but they clearly love Mac. So it's, I think, depending on how the rest of these games go in practices, it's definitely an open competition. But you got to go with Mac. You just do.
AJ,
Connor, why do they love Mac so early?
Well, I think it's because, like I mentioned this earlier, like there's never been like a first-round pick that we've drafted that's a quarterback that everyone loves, that is much different than the current quarterback we had that, obviously Cam threw 8 touchdowns. He had 10 picks last year, and last year, obviously, he was in college. But Mac Jones had like 40 touchdowns, and he was 80% of his throws were completion. So it's just, I think everyone's just really excited to have like another young pony that could be the face of your franchise for another 15 years, because I think that's what everybody wants is a young quarterback who is going to give you longevity and that you don't have to worry about who your quarterback is every damn year. I think that's why people are pumped. That's why I'm pumped. Shit.
Well, and on draft night, like you didn't think he was going to end up falling to them either, did you? Like, so you still have that added on top of okay, he actually might be a guy, but like you thought that they were just going to get a cornerback.
And like when he does fall and he is the 5th quarterback, you're kind of worried. But then when Cam starts and you start hearing all these things about how, he doesn't make the same mistake twice and he can get yelled at and then bounce right back. So I think it's like a accumulation.
He played for Nick Saban. He got plenty of work on that.
Yeah, exactly. Saban disciple. I mean, the promise is there. I think that's why people are so pumped.
Quick update before Pat left. He said if you get to 4,000 likes on this show, that Foxy's giveaway on his video coming at 2 o'clock will quadruple. We're at 3,000 likes, so you guys are going to have to do some work. Some work to do. Let's take another call.
Here we go.
Steve, what do you got?
Yeah, hey guys, how you doing on this fantastic Feel Good Friday?
How you doing?
Doing good. Shout out to Zito Bertan. My question is, or actually my thing is, I don't believe the Detroit Lions are going to win tonight. Mitch Trubisky will be in at quarterback for the Bills, and I do believe that he will take the Bills to victory tonight.
We did that so much with the Bears.
Well, actually, against the Lions, Trubisky
Whoa.
torched us.
One's a shit
Torched 'em.
organization, and the Bills are good.
I was being serious.
Oh, it's hard to tell with your flexion.
I know.
I thought he was lying. All
No.
right.
Yeah, me too.
Never
We'll see.
do that
I
to
bet these boys are chomping at the bit to get some kneecaps, and this is the first one.
Is Trubisky even
He's starting?
Yeah, I know, but is he going to play 3 quarters tonight?
All 4.
I would assume he's going to get most of the run. I think Fromm is one of the backup
Jake from
quarterbacks.
State Farm.
Why don't they play him?
AJ's a huge Trubisky fan.
Well, Trubisky, I would imagine he'll play the first half, right? At least.
I would think so.
Yeah, just split it down the middle.
He has. I mean, yeah, he has so many reps in there when it really matters. Yeah, I think it's an interesting thing to add to this Detroit game. I'm not sure because Mitch could easily go out there and light it up.
AJ, do you have any other thoughts on? I'm not sure if we got them yet on tonight's preseason games. Titans,
how many are
Falcons.
there?
Titans, Falcons, Bills, Lions, and Cowboys, Cardinals.
I want to see Titans. Is Julio dressing? Do we know? Is he playing at all?
I doubt it.
No way.
Yeah, I mean, all I ever want to see with any of these preseason games is if they have a young rookie quarterback and what he looks like.
What's his name's going tonight for the Falcons?
Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts, yeah.
Yeah, I want to see Pitts. Freaks like that. I want to see guys go make plays.
Yeah, the rest of the rookie quarterbacks are playing this weekend. To your point, that is why the preseason is fun to watch because they're rookie quarterbacks.
Trey Lance. I can't wait to see Trey Lance,
Yeah.
Jimmy G. I want to see Trevor Lawrence. All of them.
Fields
for sure.
All right, we got about 30 seconds left. 3.7 likes on this. We'll give you till 2 o'clock.
Better hurry.
Come on, Foxy's.
Come on.
Incredible video starts. Go check that out. We will be back on Monday. We can't thank everybody enough. Hell, have an incredible weekend.
Stay safe out there.
Stay safe out there.
Mad Dog is next.
Good luck to AJ's kids in flag football.
Hell yeah. Pat McAfee Show.
Okay.
That's over.